views and opinions expressed on The Big Llama Show are those of the host and guest. They do not reflect that of our sponsors, advertisers, or employers. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live!
Shit, it's in the, she ruckus. That beat, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Wagon to the million, Louis V about that. Stacking paper limitless, what you know about that? I'm getting dough, I'm getting paper. Seats in the club, hands up in the air. Wagon to the million, Louis V about that. Stacking paper limitless, what you know about that? I'm getting dough.
What up, everybody? Welcome to The Big Llama Show. I'm The Big Llama. Thank you so much for joining me. And the Sunday night live stream is a show hosted by myself and my co-host extraordinaire, AD. So, AD, man, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
What up, Llama? Feel like it's been forever.
It feels like forever, right?
Yes, sir.
It's been a week.
A whole 7 days. How's it going now?
7 days. It's, you know what? It's going really well. It's a happy birthday to America. It's the 4th of July weekend.
I don't
And
subscribe to that. No, I'm kidding.
No, man, it's been a good good week, been a good weekend. You know, this is a rarity. I don't have work tomorrow. I am officially off the clock, so I'm enjoying an adult beverage of sorts.
Nice. I wish I would have known. Or came prepared.
We could always pause you out. You can get wavy with us, as they say. I still remember that from your takeover. So no, man, again, really excited. Thank you everybody for joining us. We are live on Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook, it's on my personal private Facebook account. If you want to support the show, come over to YouTube, please. But you can always just watch, tune in. We read your chats, so if you send us a comment or write us, we're definitely going to read it on the air, and we'll definitely answer. So we love to make sure that we're talking to our subscribers, our fans, our friends, to get everybody engaged. So let's see, we got some. Oh, here we go. Charles is letting you know. AD, make the break for the beverage. We will wait. Just saying.
Oh man, if I had some, I got a little toasty last night, so I didn't expect to have back-to-back nights. Shout out to the fight companion.
Oh, that's right. We had the UFC fight companion, which we're going to talk about. We have it on our list, a recap of UFC fight night. So let's see. We got some folks in the chat. We'll just actually, we got Charles. Charles is actually with us. I don't know if Charles is not working tomorrow, which is good. Maybe Charles joins us for the night.
Yes,
But he says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Happy 4th to all." And again, he told AD, go get that drink if you got one. So anyway, to support the channel, like I said, you can come on to YouTube and support the channel that way. Subscribe, like, make sure you're commenting. If you're watching us from AD's stream, right? This is live on Blackout AD's Twitch stream. So if you want to support them, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow, his stream there as well. And we're also on Twitter, but again, I don't expect a lot of traffic from Twitter, but we're live there too, just in case. So yeah. All avenues are covered. Looks like we've got a lot of folks on Facebook. So welcome, guys, who are on Facebook. Make sure you hit us up in the comments. We'd love to talk to you guys. Again, this is a 4th of July weekend, man. A celebratory weekend. People are celebrating and enjoying themselves. If you hear dogs barking, it's because there's some fireworks going off, and they're barking in my house. Shane Stokes is here. Happy 4th, guys.
Hey, happy
Shane,
4th,
man.
Shane.
Thank you for joining us, man. Happy 4th of July, my friend. For sure, man. For sure. We got a couple things to talk about, but nothing. I don't think anything too major. Now, did you happen to catch the ending of Stranger Things or no?
Nah, I've had a busy week, man.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I haven't done much watching of anything, to be honest.
What you been doing this week, man? Break it down, man.
Yeah, school started, so I had school, work, what do you call it? School, work, streaming as much as I could. I think I streamed only like 3 times this week. So that's kind of a low for me, which kind of, hurts my feelings a little bit because I was so, before I left for Florida, I was on a wave of streaming every day. So this week, trying to find a new schedule, new balance of like what I'm doing. And then I also started working out. So I added that in there. So it's been a busy week, man. I'm just trying to find the balance and then continue to grow.
You're bettering yourself, man. That's good, man. You gotta invest in yourself and make sure that you're. It's something I got to do. I got to get back into tip-top shape, but I'm glad you're doing it, man. I'm glad you're going to school. I'm glad you're taking care of yourself. I do have an admirer here on the the chat. Mama Llama's in the chat.
Shout out
out some
Mama
hearts. And those are for me, not for you, AD. So please.
Man, that's all right. We know who the heartthrob is here.
Well, you're the younger guy. You got to be a heartthrob. although I will say, I did see Hercules, posted some shirtless pics in his fighting stuff. I think he was trying to impress us.
He definitely posted a shirtless pic today. Shout out Herc, man.
He did it on purpose. He wanted to get
put us all to
on.
shame. He wanted Llama to heart eyes his picture.
No way. Mama Llama says hi to AD. See, she's saying hello.
Yellow.
Let's see. Charles is here. Looking at a nice 1.14K. Yeah,
yes,
give
sir.
my best to Mama Llama. Yeah. So the channel's growing every day. We get to 2 or 3 subscribers. We're loving it. And the crazy thing, and again, you had said this before, and I want to make sure you're right on this, is that the old content is what's bringing in the subscribers right now. Like I'm putting out regular content, and it's not, I would say it's not performing as well as I would want it to, but
yeah,
all the old content is like constantly just flowing, and people are commenting and getting more and more subscribers from some of the old stuff I have on there, which is great. So I think I had a guy who found me on an old video, and then he commented on like the next 6 videos. So I think he watched a bunch of them and he commented, and I think became a subscriber. So
that's the beautiful thing about, at this point, you doing it for a year already, you have like a catalog. So when people do find you, and they, how YouTube is, I don't know, maybe you don't, but for me, when I find something I'm interested on YouTube, a creator or whatnot, or a type of content, I start binge watching the content immediately. And I think that's what benefits you, like that you have the catalog already. Because if I put a video out on my channel that hits, it's not gonna have the same effect. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna go watch my other 3 videos because they're just 3 videos that probably don't pertain to whatever I would post. But yours is consistent content it's just back ordered. So, I always look at it. I mean, somebody, Russ, the artist, he said he put a song out, 1 song a week. For I forgot how long. I'm pretty sure it was like a year or something like that. But he put 1 song out a week, and then he said once the 1 song that blew him up, he started noticing that all the older songs started going up because, he had the catalog that they can go back to. It's like, oh wow, I like this song. Let me go check what else. So you're benefiting from that. I know the numbers aren't where you want it on your newer videos lately. I've been watching, but it's part of the ups and downs of YouTube.
No, and you know what the good thing is that I'm actually very happy with the content I'm putting out. It's not like I'm not disappointed in it. I think the only one that I wasn't surprised was Speed 2 because that movie is just terrible. But the stuff I've been putting out, I am very proud of, and I enjoyed what I did, and I'm very happy about it. Now, one of the cool things that happened throughout this week, had a really decent week in terms of, I don't know if I can share it. Let me see if I can share this, my screen here, but something really cool happened this week. I got in a conversation, or kind of a conversation, with 3 or 4 of the top reactors. Chanel Riccio, which is one of my favorite reactors today, because she comes at it. I think she's an actress that does it from a movie maker perspective. She hit me up with, because I wrote, a couple things, who are your top channels you watch? Octocruel, which is the 2 twin brothers who do this, and then Awkward Ashley, who again, these guys are top echelon, 200 to 300 subs, whatever, 300,000 subs.
Yeah.
And, kind of hit me up and said, hi, what's up? And acknowledged the Big Llama show for a second. And I was like, damn, that's pretty nice. So, I had me on cloud nine, not because it benefits the show, but like, I like the fact that I'm interacting and I can talk to them and that kind of stuff. So, it's fun. It's fun.
That's dope. It's always dope to have people that you kind of look up to or admire in the space. Kind of like it. I think we talked about it before, like when I met like the comedian and like the videographers. Like in a weird way, you exist in their world now. You're not just another Twitter person. That's like there's a COD pro that follows me on Instagram. And I don't remember how I got in. How I got him to follow me or whatnot. But like I'll see him like look at my story every so often. Like even today, I posted the Big Llama promo, and then you'll see him looking at it. It's just dope. Like I doubt he ever watches the show, but it's just if he wanted to, it's there, and he's constantly looking at the story. So it's just a cool feeling. But hopefully we can make people feel like that once we get to a certain level. I think that's how I look at it, at least.
For sure. That's the goal. That's for sure. We got Ace up in the chat. Ace is saying hello. How you doing? Is that Ace or is that Gabe? Did Gabe get his phone back?
Yeah.
Okay. So hi, Ace. And congratulations again.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got James. If you make the content, they will come for sure. For sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
but
man.
Again, I mean, to that point though, like even these videos that aren't doing well now, you never know what they can do in the future. Especially if you put a good video out and then people start watching it. You just never know, especially if you're proud of what you're putting out. It'll be different if you kind of just hated the videos and they didn't do well. You probably feel a little bit different about it. But if the fact that you're proud of it, it's good, man. Like you're just gonna keep growing, and that's dope. I've been looking at the numbers too of the subs, and it's just like it's crazy that it's still growing. It's not like you've had, that stretch that you had like 2 months. That was crazy. So like the fact that you're still gaining subs out of that is dope.
Yeah, no, I think I got the first video that hit 18,000 views. The biggest video on my channel. It's still growing, and I monetized it to try to see to capitalize from it. But I'm battling YouTube's copyright police, so I may not get any money out of it. But still, like that video has gotten another 3,000 or 4,000 views since I got monetized. So I'm enjoying it, man. This is the fun part. This is the fruit of the labor, right? Like things are happening, and the one Twitter person that I Awkward Ashley was her name. She makes these videos and again, she's not as polished, at least like looking at the videos like from different reactors, not as polished, but she has a very like big following. And one of the things she does is she keeps the ugly stuff in the video. So when she does something stupid or like screws up on something, she keeps it in the video or she highlights it. So I just wrote to her and I was like, hey, on my last video, I did a bunch of crying. So I kept as much ugly crying as I could in there. Otherwise, like if you look at my Field of Dreams reaction, I cut a lot of it out. Like it's only like small snippets.
Yeah.
But I just wrote to her, I was like, hey, look, I kept it in there. And she's like, hell yeah, keep your stuff like that. And I'm like, oh shit, we're having a conversation. This is great. But again, this is the fun part of interacting with people. And
but doing that, it just showcases your personality, and I think that's what people at the very core, that's what people connect with, is like if they can find something in you that they like about you, that they feel, they see themselves. And I think we talked about this last time too. But I think that's the beauty of it. So I think she benefits from leaving things in, or you having your video crying. Like you benefit from that because people see the real you. It's the same thing with me on stream. Like there's days where I have like a polished version of myself where I try to be a little bit professional, and then there's days where I'm just yelling and saying the most wild shit. And those are the days where I see the most like interaction when people actually like cling to my personality. So
yeah. Oh, for sure, man. I mean, let's see. James is here. I've been busy, but since I've been watching,
I think it's every time.
Oh, okay. I missed the show. I kicked myself a little for not viewing live.
Hey, it's all good, bro. At least you're here today.
Exactly. Charles says, I enjoy your reactions. They're from the heart. and that she's on point. Keep your reactions real.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Somebody wrote me and they're like, "Hey, you missed the most iconic parts in your reaction." I'm like, I don't know they're iconic because I've never seen the movie. So like, how do I know that this is the most iconic piece of the movie? Like, I know what I thought was entertaining in the movie, but I don't know what. And I think you had told me
Yes.
don't do Malibu's Most Wanted until
Yeah,
we do it
because
together.
you literally, I mean, to that point,
Right.
White Chicks, you missed all the funniest parts of the movie. The parts that my friends have been quoting for years, you missed. And I'm like, how does he miss this? Like these parts are great. I'm talking about everybody I know that loves that movie quotes the same parts. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you see it and you're like your fandom. Like when the movie hits and hits the zeitgeist and people like it, they tend to like the same parts of the movie, or like those parts are the most memorable. So that's one thing about watching or reacting to movies now that you haven't seen, that like you're gonna miss what people, you know what I mean? Especially because it's not like the same time. So you're not really feeling what they felt when they made the movie or when they dropped the movie or whatnot.
No, and I get it though, because because I try to do is I do the reaction, I do the editing, and then I start the rendering, right? And so I say, okay, I know what mine's gonna look like. So I go check out other reactions. Okay, what do they look like? Now I've done my piece. I'm gonna submit it the way it is, but I catch it. I'm like, oh shit, there was a good part there, and oh, I didn't react to that or that type of thing. So, pretty interesting. This is James here says we want to see the llama dance.
Oh no,
I'll break it down.
Yeah, this guy's crazy with it.
I don't know that I've done the llama dance in a couple videos now. So maybe I got to get a musical video. Look at there's tomorrow. Tomorrow I got to record. So maybe some suggestions on movies that might make me dance.
I know a movie would get this guy dancing. High School Musical.
Well, again, got to be a movie I haven't seen 10,000 times.
Your morals, man. But I don't understand why you don't just do a movie that you've seen. It's like your reaction will still be the same. It's the same. I don't know, at least for me, because I think about stuff that I've watched and then put it on stream. Like I've watched your videos ahead of time before stream, and then I react to it on stream, and I react to it the same way I would normally because I know what I did. You know what I mean? Like I know how I felt when I watched it the first time, so I'm gonna give you the same feeling. I think that's. I'm telling you, you're missing a lot of views on movies that you won't do because you already seen it. It's like, you've seen a lot of movies that span.
That's a problem.
Decades.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah, you've seen so many movies, so it's like you're cutting yourself short.
I did it with Lost Boys, and I did it with The Predator, and I did it with one other movie, Never Ending Story. And honestly, at the time I did those, I thought it was because they weren't first-time movie reactions.
I think it's
I remember I think we talked about it. Like maybe it was because they were old movies, but honestly, I think it was just the movie. It was just the traffic at that time that when I put them out wasn't there. So I can see like Predator right now has 800 views or something like that, which it's been at 300 forever, and all of a sudden it's been growing. And Never Ending Story, Children of the Corn, all these ones that I've seen that I've rewatched. So yeah, maybe I'll do a couple of classic rewatches, as we say, right?
Yeah, but you shouldn't title it classic. I think that's what deters people.
Just watch just say reaction. Right?
Just reaction, yeah, because that's what they look for. It's the same thing with like, I mean, you know me, like when I find like when I'm looking at stuff on YouTube, I'm like trying to see how we could fix like our thing. And I thought about like even our titles, like we've cleaned it up from before. But then now that I'm starting to see other people's things, they only put like one topic that they talk about in the thing, as opposed to like four. Like we have three, you know what I mean? We have Stranger Things, Miss Marvel, and then UFC. So it's like, I feel like that kind of confuses the algorithm a little bit. And I think the same thing with like classic movie or however you would title it. It's not necessarily what the people are looking for. Like though they might like it when they watch it, it's not necessarily the algorithm pushing it out, at least that's where my head's thinking. I don't know, but again, this is all trial and error. I'm only watching you trial and error.
No, hey, listen, we're trying everything. We're just seeing what happens, man. I mean, this is the fun part of the experimentation. James says, "Oh, there's an actual llama dance. Now I have to see it."
This guy.
Well, if you go,
it's not a dance, but it's more of a shimmy, if you will.
if you watch the Lost Boys reaction, that's a pretty good one. And then I think the other one was like a John Wick. But Lost Boys definitely, I know for sure, has the llama dancing in it for sure.
You ever seen Save the Last Dance?
I've not seen that movie.
You should. It's good.
I should. Okay. Maybe that's the next one. Save the Last Dance. Charles says, gentlemen, good night. We'll check the rest of this in the AM. Be safe.
Appreciate
Charles,
you,
man,
Charles.
Thank you so much, man. He's been a great supporter of us for sure.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. All right. So you didn't see the Stranger Things finale. Have you heard about it?
No, I kind of stayed away from things this week.
So but I'm saying, you don't care about
spoilers, no.
Spoilers.
But I haven't looked anything up. I wanted to watch it. Honestly, I think I'm gonna restart all of Stranger Things and then watch it at the end.
It's actually pretty entertaining because I got to do that. I guess after I stopped doing the reactions, I got to binge the whole thing and it was fun. James here says, do Harlem Nights. And my suggestion is pitch a day just for nostalgic movies that were fire. These are parts I forget when I rewatch classics. I do love me some Harlem Nights, but I did watch it very young. So that'd be a good one too. So Save the Last Dance and Harlem Nights on the list. Let's see. Okay, then let's see you do it, AD.
I'm not dancing, brother. I'm not the dancing llama. That guy is.
Again, check it out there on that Lost Boys reaction and let me know what you think. It's really pretty early. You see it like the first 10 seconds.
I think you clipped it literally. I think you clipped it. I think that was like your entrance into the video.
Yeah, for sure. So Stranger Things, okay, so we won't talk unless somebody in the chat wants to know specifics. I'll give you some general stuff about the part 2 that just came out and it's the finale, but I won't necessarily spoil or ruin it for you, even though you don't care. No, you don't care. I don't know. It was let's see, 2 episodes. I think the first episode was an hour and a half. Second episode was like 2.5 hours. So you had almost 4 hours of a movie or just 2 movies basically. And it was pretty good. I thought it was great. The only bad thing is we were prepared based on spoilers and rumors my family typically isn't as in tune, but they were like, oh, I heard 4 people are going to die. I heard 5 people are going to die. And I'm like, oh shit. So now we're doing the countdown. As we're watching it, we're like 4, here's 2, here's maybe 1. And and that kept us sort of tense throughout the entire watching. But I think it stuck the landing. I thought it was pretty good. Okay. My family not so much. They're like, maybe not. It was still good. It was still good, but
what did they have to say?
I think it went on a little too long, and then the gravity of somebody potentially dying on the show and then not dying, that sucks. If you're in that place, that space where you go, oh shit, they just killed this character, and then they do a little bit of a twist and they go, oh, she's not dead, and you go, oh, and then they end the season, so now you got to wait 2 years to figure out, is she dead, is she not dead, is she really dead, that type of thing. And that's annoying. And the bad thing is the next season is set to be released in 2024. That's a long ass time.
Yeah, but what they did, they took a chance with at least, again, I haven't seen it, but what I'm thinking is they took a big risk in changing the format of the show for the last 2 episodes. I think that's why I kind of felt long, because it wasn't spread. You know what I mean? You watch an hour episode and then a 2-hour episode, as opposed to 3 3-hour episodes. So you don't get that little, even though when you binge something or you watch it straight through, you're not necessarily taking a break, but that credit scene really gives you that, okay, there's a finality to this. Now I can either choose to continue it or not. And I think that might have to do a little bit with that. Was it movie quality though? Did it feel movie quality? Did it feel different from the first half of the season? That's what I'm curious about.
No, the first half and the second half to me felt the same in terms of quality. It had that cinematic feel to it. So it was really good. It was a great. I think it was a great season. there was just a lot to digest in the last. But again, you're right. If I had watched them in increments of 45 minutes to an hour each, like they normally do, I probably would have binge watched the whole thing and still be in the same place. So, but you're right. I think it's one sitting without the break, and you're like, oh, maybe it went on a little too long, but it happens. Now, hold on. We got some people in the chat refuting your non-dancing skills. James says, after the dance battles we used to have.
Listen, those were classic on the line dance battles. We used to work together. We used to go to war. We used to go to war at Bonefish. We needed some kind of break. You know what I mean? And I think I blew Unk's mind when I knew a lot of older songs that my generation probably wouldn't normally know. So we bonded over older songs, because not like movies. I don't watch movies older than me. I kind of don't listen to songs older than me unless it catches my ear, and then I'm like, oh, I'm all for it.
Right. It's
like Uncle Luke.
You just have a host that's older than you. That's about it.
Yeah.
I'm the only old thing you keep around.
Yeah, it's the only. I don't even keep my old lady around.
Exactly. Big Homie says this about Stranger Things, that they did this off a 3-year break. I think they're flexing that they can and will do it again.
Oh, they did it now. They're gonna do it again for sure. They're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna split it into 2 parts, and the second part's gonna be a movie, unless they just say F it and go the whole way like that. Maybe how many episodes? Maybe like 6 episodes, an hour each or something. You know what I mean? Some weird thing.
Yeah.
2 hours each. I don't know.
The way it ended, I don't think there is a whole lot of story building you're going to do. Like the way the season ended and the way it's going to start in the next one, there's not any more. I don't think there's time for, let's see what they're doing now. It's more like what they did was they basically like drew the lines and they said, here's the next bit of the story, and we're going to go here, and it's war. Boom. There's nothing more. Like I honestly, I don't see any character development. I don't see, let's meet this new person. No, it's like, this shit is ready, that we need to fight. And I think that's where they left it. So it may come back with a bang. Who knows?
Yeah, but I also think in that, go ahead with the chat.
No, go ahead. I was just saying.
I was going to say, for Bonefish. We all worked there. It was a good time. If you remember the year, it was a good time.
old school James powered that kitchen.
100%, man.
I was impressed, and Big Homie, you were there. You were the heartbeat, and he was the soul of the line.
Yo, on the real, Justin was like the captain, and I was just the guy making the jokes. Kind of like Shreem.
Exactly. Although I heard Big Homie was dropping knowledge on the UFC fight night. I was tuning in and out, and he was dropping some good facts.
He wasn't dropping knowledge. He just had really good mathematistic. I don't even know what the word I'm saying. Mathematistic skills. That man was like, he threw 200 punches and landed for about 30%. Like the statistics popped up. I was like, holy shit. He threw 190 right, and it was about 35%. This guy's crazy. I didn't know he had that skill. He's never pulled that out ever before. That was the first time he did that.
He was rocking it. He was rocking it for sure.
Though.
But you were saying something about the story or no?
No, yeah. So there's story building in a war, you know what I mean, in the season itself. So it's not like they're just going straight for battles and stuff. I'm sure they're gonna have different things they want to tie up. Maybe not necessarily from this season, but just from the season in general. Because what I seen from the first half is like the Vecna character, how they tied it in from the very beginning, I thought that was dope. So you never know what they can do, and they're super creative over there. But yeah, I'm excited to watch it, but I'm also just like, I feel like I'm gonna enjoy it more as watching it at home, because I haven't seen like season 1, 2, or 3 in a long time. I don't even remember season 3, to be honest. I think that was the one like when they were in like the mall and stuff, if I'm not mistaken, but I don't remember the details like that. Like I noticed that when I watched it, the first part, I was like, man, I don't remember everything. It's kind of been too long.
All right, we got some comments here. Let's see. It's a big homies. You guys literally missed when they showed the stats.
Oh, this guy. So he's a fraud.
You should expose yourself, big homie.
Yo, we thought you were a genius, bro. I was literally baffled. I was like, how does he know this? And then he did it again, and I was like, bro, he's counting these guys' throws, bro. This guy's crazy. I thought he was going nuts. Hey, I respected it. I respect it. We needed that kind of
make it, right?
I guess that's what I'm trying to do.
Let's see. James says they should end it with the kids from Stranger Things taking an L.
That would be sick.
I don't know. People are going to die in the next season. That's for sure.
People should have died already. A lot of these kids should have been. Oh, okay.
They did. Well, there's deaths. There's deaths. People died, but
not main characters. There's no way main characters die.
No. Well, again, you watch it.
No,
it's not.
Just say it.
No,
yes or no.
I would say that there's one character that's questionable, right? And then one that I expected to die, but I don't know if you would consider that guy a main character. But anyway,
but I'm talking about like the core kids from the beginning. It's like some of those kids should have like through this whole journey should have just start getting picked off one by one. Like realistic, real world circumstances. Those kids aren't coming back. Will's never getting out of the he's never getting out. Like first season, he's done. Somehow plot armor, the guy gets out. But realistically, that guy is chalked.
I want you to read this one because this is for you.
Don't try to tell me a midget like Volk is pound for pound best. He's shorter than Megan O'Leary. Listen, do you see what he did to did you watch last night's fight? Come on. What he did to Max Holloway, who everybody's like, oh, Max Holloway is the featherweight GOAT. Max Holloway is they forgot about Aldo, by the way. But that's all you hear is like, he's 2-0. And mind you, Volkanovski is already 2-0 against Max Holloway before last night. And they're like, oh, he's the featherweight GOAT. He's so good. Look what he did to Calvin Kattar. Yo, Volkanovski pieced him up like he did Korean Zombie. And that was bad. I mean, obviously he took Korean Zombie out. But yo, somebody's Max Holloway got a cut on his eye, and it was like super deep. Like they were sticking the Q-tip in it, like literally, and it like at one point it flapped open. I was like, Jesus, and I made an inappropriate comment on stream. But I was watching somebody's reaction to it today, and somebody said, "Yo, that cut can have its own OnlyFans," and I thought that was hilarious. I was like, wow.
I'm sure I know what comments you made.
I mean, it's pretty close to that.
Let's see. Big homie, the second time was me, but I was off by 10%.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I don't believe you. Now, next time you throw me stats, I'm gonna be like, where'd you see them?
Right. Where'd you get these
Google?
stats there, cheater?
This guy's a statmatician. A little midget cannot be pound for pound best. Don't give me that shit. Come on, Bob Trotter. What are you talking about? He is nasty. He's still he might be short, but he's gonna piece up your favorite fighters. Let's be real.
Exactly. Come on, man. He has to be an intimidating man to be pound for pound best.
Listen, he's not. I mean, he's 5'6". Usman's maybe 5'7", and Usman's pound for pound. I mean, you're not gonna put
at least 5'8".
It's gotta be nah. But that's the whole point of the pound for pound list is to put. You know what I mean? Other than that, you would just keep them in their weight class, and you wouldn't even merge the list at all. Right. I think there should be women on the. I think honestly, like you should have Nunes on the pound for pound list, which I'm sure she's there. I don't think she's top 10 or anything, but realistically, her Shevchenko, they should be top 10 on the list because they've been dominant for so long. And that was another thing. I mean, I don't know when we'll transition. We'll wait to that. But let's finish off the Stranger Things talk. Are you excited for season 5?
I am very excited. I'm not excited for the wait, but again, it's because I didn't have to wait, and that's my problem, right? It's like I wasn't the diehard fan who's been watching from the beginning. I just started, this year.
Bandwagoner.
No, exactly. I jumped on. I love it. It's great, but it is what it is. Like now I got to wait, and that's all right. It's fine. Like Cobra Kai was my show, and so I've been waiting for that show, and I've watched it from its beginning. But
you don't feel like Cobra Kai's mid?
It's getting there. It's getting there. I think
I wanted
last
to
season.
see how you were objectively
No,
going to answer that, because
no.
the first 2 seasons I think were good, and then the last season I was kind of like,
Yeah, it's. I think this last season that passed, I think it needs to end, and they got to have an ending. They've got this. I don't know. We can get off on a tangent, but they got these characters doing what they normally do to try to like enhance or extend the show. They're going on different paths and they're doing different missions and shit. It's like, no, that's not what the gist of the show is. The show is Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence, and by extension, these kids are having adventures, but it's not what we're here for.
yeah.
So it's getting a little too out there. But I'm excited for the next one. But I'm excited for this one too, for Stranger Things. Again, some people say they stuck the landing. Some people will say it didn't. So I honestly think, from my perspective, it hit hit what it needed to do. It was emotional. It was great. It was fun, and it leads me wanting to watch more. So we'll see. But people get so picky about shit. It's like, oh, they said they were going to kill off 5 characters. They only killed off 4. Like, who gives a shit? They delivered on the show. I think the show was great. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's what happened. The Duffer Brothers in an interview said that 5 characters were going to die, and technically 5 or 6 people died. But were they main characters? Were they? Who gives a shit? Like that's when you start nitpicking. I hate people who do that shit to shows. Anyway,
But
so
I
it's good.
think
It was
the
fun.
impact. I think the impact of it is better if you kill off main characters, just because you grew with these kids, But it's also I don't know, like for them, I didn't see the interview or nothing, but for them to tease it and then kind of like kill off side characters, it's like, what I mean? I could see why people would be like, it's like you set us up for an expectation that you didn't really feel.
Well, we were counting as a character went down. We're like, oh, that's 1. Oh, here's 2. Oh shit, here's 3. We're like, oh, 2 more are coming, right? And all of a sudden, 1 actually happened. That we were like, oh shit, main character, and it was like, nope, just kidding, maybe. We were like, fuck,
possibly. Did you see the body?
Yes, you can see the body. It just was a weird thing. It was a weird thing. We were just like, because they had that whole emotional moment for that character.
Mm-hmm.
They went through the motion. The character's dead. The people crying. There's this whole sentimental moment, and then like last second they pulled some shit that you're like, what? She might be. He might be. What? Like, oh god. And then they never answer it, and then you go right into the end of the show, and we're like, damn, that's annoying. I want to know is she dead or not. That's what I need to know. So anyway.
Scott needs to know if she's dead or not, dude.
That's it, man.
Is it 11? Just tell the truth.
No, it's not 11. 11 is the whole show. I will tell you, my prediction is she has to die. That's my prediction. That she has everything to die.
For the balance of the force.
She has to sacrifice herself for everybody else, man. That'd be the most powerful thing in the whole show.
Yeah, it's so predictable though. That's how you would expect it to end almost.
Well, somebody big's got to die.
Yeah, like Will, bring it back. Send him gone.
Will's been dead in all season 1, man.
Let him go.
Bring Barb back. That's from season 1. I was so attached to that character because I didn't know that's what they do, is they make you like an external character and then they fucking kill him. So it's like, oh god. Damn you, Barb. Barb, I love you. Anyway, all right. So let me know what you guys think of Stranger Things. We can keep talking about it if anyone has some comments in the chat, but we're going to move on to our next topic because a lot of people are talking about it here. Let's see. Israel's going to get separated from consciousness again by that Brazilian dude. So we're going to move on to UFC Fight Night.
This guy, I like he's standing on what he's saying, but I think he's speaking malarkey right now. There's no way. There's no way. I don't know how to explain it. All right, let's go through the card because we'll get to the Israel fight. But 276, great card. I was super hyped for this card leading up to it because it was pretty stacked. I mean, you had Israel Adesanya defending his belt against Jared Cannonier. You had Alex Volkanovski fighting Max Holloway for the 3rd time, even though Volk is 2-0 in the series, or was 2-0 in the series. I thought that was super dope that they actually gave him the 3rd fight because, again, he's still the number one contender. You know, it's just he ran into Volkanovski. He would be the champion. I mean, Volkanovski beat him for the belt. Then you have Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira, which is the Brazilian guy he's talking about. This fight was interesting because, and this is only the main card because I watched a lot of fights last night.
Yeah,
but only the main card. So Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira was a dope fight because Sean Strickland is number 4, or he was number 4 in the rankings, and he's a loudmouth. This guy talks a lot, and like I was even joking around because he used to be a neo-Nazi, and like I was joking around like, man, this guy looks like he's a neo-Nazi. Like if he never came out and said it, that would be my first guess, neo-Nazi. Like I don't know why, but he has the face of one. Anyways, guy talks a lot. Like I mean, the press conference, he took over the press conference. He was drawing back with Israel, and that's what this fight was for. It was for if Israel won, who's the number 1 contender, right? So with Sean Strickland being ranked 4, he gave this fight to this guy Alex Pereira, which I thought he was 5-1 in the UFC. Turns out that was only his 4th UFC fight. He's like 3-1 in the UFC. But this guy's claim to fame now, he's a very high level kickboxer. Very high level. I believe he was like 2 weight division champion in like Glory or something like that. But his claim to fame is he's beat Adesanya twice already, which is the champion who's undefeated at the weight class. But he's beat him in kickboxing twice, and the second time on the rematch, he knocked him out. And that's this guy's claim to fame. So in a lot of ways, Adesanya has already cleared out the division. Jared Cannonier was like the next guy up, but he's already beat most of the top level guys. And if he fights him again, it's going to be rematches. And he's rematched the number 1 ranked guy. And he's rematched, I think, I forgot what this guy is. Marvin Vettori is. I think he's like 4 or 5, something like that. He's rematched him twice, or he's fought him twice. So it's kind of like the division's kind of like needing a little push. So this fight was for number 1 contendership, and it was like Sean Strickland, if he wins, big money fight because they're gonna draw back and forth. They already did it in the press conference this past week, where like Sean Strickland was like, no guy, because Israel's really into anime, so he's like, no guy who watches anime porn is gonna beat me or whatever. And like,
dear God,
Adesanya paints his nails and stuff, so he's like drawing back and forth with him, and like it kind of looked like he was like Adesanya was visibly getting upset with him, like kind of getting annoyed. And honestly, Adesanya told him like, yo, worry about this guy, because if you don't, he's gonna sleep you. And that's what ends up happening. But then again, the Pereira guy already beat him twice, so that's another big money fight, because it's like the guy who beat him in kickboxing, where he comes from, is now in the UFC. And bro, 4th fight, and he's now the 4th contender. He has to be number 4 because he just beat Sean Strickland. So he has to be. My prediction, they're gonna put him like 5 or 6 just to like keep the division happy. But instantly he should be number 4 because he beat the number 4 guy, right? So now they're like pushing that guy up because it's like they showed visuals of him knocking Adesanya out. Like they're trying to sell this, right?
Yeah. Of course. You got to sell it for sure.
Big money fight. I mean, both of them. They were both big money fights. So it was interesting to see who would win and who would actually get to face him. Now, and then we had who else do we have? We had Robbie Lawler versus Bam Bam. I forgot the guy's name. Barbarino, something. I believe it is.
Barbarino. Yeah. Brian.
Which was a fight of the night. One of the greatest. They literally won fight of the night. But when we were watching, they were
banging on each other, right?
They were going ham. Ham. Barbarino finishes Robbie Lawler, which Robbie Lawler is a legend in the game. I mean, that guy. I think he was fighting like early. Like I don't know what UFC, but it was like super early on. So he's like a UFC huge legend. Nah, it was like 10 though. You know what I mean? Like it was like close. But the Barbarino guy really he impressed me because he said they were going to be in a barn burner and they were going to swing, and I'm telling you that fight lived up to the hype. All right. And then you had Sean O'Malley, which is one of my favorite fighters, fighting against Pedro Munoz. And Sean O'Malley was ranked 13th and Munoz I think was 9. So it was like his first step up into like top 10 rankings that everybody's been wanting to see what he does against top 10, all that. And that fight, say that again.
Munoz is the one who got mushed in the face.
Yeah, he's the one. Yeah. Sean O'Malley's a star. Like this guy, huge star. So it was kind of sad.
He's a love him or hate him type guy. Based on the promos that I watched before, that like I don't know that he's a character that I gravitate towards that I really like, but I wound up looking like again just based on the promo that I watched. I don't know his career, but based on the promo, I'm like, man, I really don't like this guy. I want to hate this guy, but he's charismatic and he's got he talks shit and he's just colorful. Like yeah, it's what UFC needs for sure. Because again, I got just from a promo, I got a feeling on this guy. So I can only imagine following his career or being, more into the sport, how this guy either you love him or you hate him or whatever. But I don't know. The fight though was a little bit underwhelming, I guess, just how it ended. But
yeah, I mean, just because it ended in an eye poke, no contest, so neither of them won. Right. But at this point, it's like he was kind of piecing them up too. So it was like, do we really care to see this fight again? Like, I personally could care less. If they fight again, it'll be cool. It'll be like the exclamation. But at this point, it's like, it was very clear who was going to win that fight. Or at least not who was going to win the fight, because obviously fighting, you don't know what's going to happen. But it was very clear who was leading the fight and who had the more skill. Because at one point, it was like a meme now. But Munoz like tried to spin kick him. And O'Malley just spun. He didn't even kick or nothing. He just spun and was like, oh. So it was like he's a showman, which is dope. But I would like to see him, I would like to see him finish it because that's what people wanted to see him face a top 10 guy. If he would have won, it would have been dope because now he's in the top 10. He could fight anybody in the top 10, anybody. And that's the thing. Nobody's really calling this kid out because they know he's good too. Like the top level guys, like the same thing with like Sean Strickland, like being number 4 and calling out an unranked guy, like that takes guts. That takes balls because you're going to lose. If you lose like how Sean Strickland did, you're losing your spot.
Oh, yeah.
But if you win, it is what it is. You took the fight. You know what I mean? Like for MMA fans, I feel like that's the thing. It's like we want to see the guys that have heart, that want to fight, that don't care if you're not ranked above them, that you're not, you know what I mean? Like we want to see that. So the fact that Sean's not getting called out by these guys above him shows that he's trouble for the division. I mean, we know that just watching him, his stand-up is phenomenal. But again, that fight ended. So whatever. If they go on and do the rematch, it's cool. If not, I want to see Sean fight more top 10 guys.
Well, let me ask you this. So Adesanya fights. He gets the decision in the 5th round, so it goes the distance. Was it even close? Like in your opinion, was that match even closer?
At the very least, it was 4-1.
Okay,
4 rounds to 1 at the very least.
Yeah, and that's what I had heard. And
that's generous.
So you think most people?
It could have been 5-0. It could have been easily because, I mean, we were watching it today, and like Cannonier just didn't do much to like try to. I don't know what it is about Adesanya, and like to Bruce's point, like. I'm not saying Pereira can't knock him out again because clearly he knocked him out one time. It's not like that just goes away. But you got to understand, Adesanya has been in the UFC, been mixed martial arts fighting. Last time Pereira, that's the thing with last night's fight. Let's talk about the Sean Strickland fight. Sean Strickland stood in front of Pereira, who's arguably the best kickboxer in the UFC, and right above Adesanya. Like people are saying he's better than Adesanya skill-wise in kickboxing, right? So Sean Strickland stands literally in front of him. And I personally think if Sean Strickland fought Adesanya like that, the same thing's going to happen. It's not like Alex Pereira really did anything special. He didn't set him up. He didn't do nothing. The guy was just pressing forward. He literally had the same move. He was just parrying the jab, trying to block the jab, and kept lifting his knee up like as if he was like gonna kick him or maybe checking a kick. I don't know. I don't know what his game plan was because that's another thing. It's like Pereira's fight before Sean Strickland, he fought a guy who was like testing him. I'm talking about mixed martial arts testing, not just kickboxing. Like going for takedowns. He was landing punches hard, which this guy is very slick on the feet. So the fact that I forgot who he fought, but he was landing punches hard. He was going for takedowns. The dude still ended up winning. Actually, I think he might have lost. That might have been his loss. Because he's 2-1 or 3-1 in the UFC right now, which is another thing. He's already lost in the UFC. So it's not like he's coming in just kickboxing. Now, him and Adesanya probably will just kickbox, but I think, in my personal opinion, if he fights Adesanya, which they will, because that's going to be the next fight, I think Adesanya is going for takedowns. I think Adesanya is going to dominate him in other ways. I also think Adesanya's ego wants a knockout because that's what everybody's been talking about. Oh, this guy's knocked him out. This guy's knocked him out. And even Adesanya said, he was like, in his post-fight like not press conference, the post-fight ring interview, he said it was user error. He likes using the analogy that when people fight him, they're just button mashers, and he's a guy that uses combos. He uses that analogy a lot. But I think, and he said, it was user error. I just kept spamming right punch a lot, and you knocked me out. Cool. Which is like kind of how he knocked out Strickland. This Pereira guy has a very strong left hook, and he's powerful. Like he puts people to sleep. So it's not going to be an easy fight by any means. But I don't think Pereira has the MMA, how do you say, like not background, but MMA like what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I guess pedigree, like something like pretty much. Yeah, he doesn't have the MMA skills right now. And and that's what Izzy said. He's like, yo, I like that they're pushing him right now because he's gonna get better. So I'd rather take him out now before he gets good, because then what is he gonna say? At this point, this guy's chasing Adesanya. How good he think he is? He's knocked him out before. Cool. This is a different game. Adesanya hasn't lost at that weight class. He lost when he went up and got dominated by Blachowicz, but he didn't lose in his weight class. And there's really good, technically. I mean, Derek Brunson. Even what's his name? The guy he had a crazy fight with, I forgot. But there's super good wrestlers not able to take him down. Cannonier fought at heavyweight, fought at light heavyweight.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Goes to, he's a middleweight now, but tries to take him down, cannot take him down. Really didn't have any success in the clinches. So it's like, what does Pereira have besides the kickboxing? And if Izzy starts using other skills, I don't think this guy's gonna last very long. You know what I mean? And it's not like he's that much superior than Izzy. He has more power than Izzy, but on the feet, slickness, feints, just skill-wise on the feet, they're pretty neck and neck. I think I would give the guy more power, but I think Adesanya has everything else. He has championship fights under his belt, crowd fights. The crowd is under him. Like, he's just he's just more prepared, man. Like, it's gonna be a dope fight. It's gonna be sick, but we'll see. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that the guy can't win. You know what I mean? But he's already lost in the UFC to a lesser guy than Adesanya, who Adesanya probably has already beat. So it's like MMA math. You know what I mean? Like, can he really hang with Adesanya in an MMA fight? In kickboxing, he's shown he did that. Cool. But that's the past. And that was years ago. Adesanya has gotten way better since then. You know what I mean? Just totally better. So it's like, what are we talking about? We're talking about the highlights.
Right. You can't like hold on to that old. People change, the skill sets change, and so if you beat them now, that's different. Let's look at the chat. Some people have been talking in the chat. First of all, I saw the Arby's crew who created the account to watch you, right? They're asking if you're playing later tonight.
Oh man, yeah, I might actually play later.
Let's see here. Bruce has some comments for you. If you think there's no way he can KO Israel again, you're silly. Israel doesn't even fight these days. He just stands around and prances around the cage.
Right there. That is a dumb narrative for me, because that's what everybody's saying. Israel's last couple fights, he's and that's the thing. Israel's a counter fighter. He's not gonna push you. And if he feels like you're engaging with him, he's gonna engage with you. But think about Costa, like the Costa fight. Costa tries to press him, he puts him down. Then you have Yoel Romero, who just stands in front of him, and everybody's mad at Izzy that he didn't attack him. It's like, why would I'm defending my belt. I'm not trying to get the belt. Mm-hmm. So why am I gonna do more? If this guy wants to kickbox with me, kickbox with me where I come from, I'm gonna beat him in points. And that just is what it is. There's multiple ways to win a fight. I don't think he needs to go get bloodied up every time just to prove he's a fighter, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's winning. He hasn't lost.
There's longevity in the career too. You gotta be smart. Like, you can't just take a beating to the head every time just because you think that's what the people want to see, or like, you have to be smart about it. You have to have a plan and a game plan, a strategy. How am I going to work with this guy, and what are his strengths, his weaknesses? You can't go in here banging with everybody, because so you get knocked out. And he's a fighting champion. So like, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you like play off of the strengths of other people? Yeah, Big Homie says he literally banged with Connor yesterday and has shown that he can take hits. So
Yeah, but the people are saying that they didn't bang yesterday, which I don't understand.
yeah, Bruce is saying that the fight wasn't a banger though. It was an accidental bedwetting at best.
Yeah, by Cannonier. It's not Adesanya's fault. Yeah, Adesanya won. He's the champ. He defended his belt as he should. He said Pereira hasn't lost in the UFC, bro. What's his record then? Because I'm pretty sure last night they kept saying he lost at least one fight.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
No. We'll flash it right here. According to the UFC card, he's a 6-1.
6-1. He lost. That's a
He
loss.
lost one.
Literally the record.
You said, "Nah, bro, he hasn't lost."
Okay, I guess the one doesn't mean anything.
I guess not. I guess not.
I guess that's a tie.
He's also not a sellout. Why attack when you can just play defense?
Yeah, but it's not just defense though. I think it's strategic. Like he's a counter fighter. Like when he fights Gastelum, he goes into it like it's not like he hasn't been in wars. And that's another thing that people were bringing up. It's like when a champion is this dominant, people are always. I mean, they did it with Anderson Silva. They did it with GSP. It's like, oh, his fights are so boring because he's just dominating people. But it's like challenge him. You know what I mean? It's Cannonier's job to make the fight dirty. Like when Cannonier has him in the clinch and they go off a break and Cannonier hits him with the elbow, or when he enters the clinch, lets go and hits him with like an uppercut and I think a hook. Like that's what you need. That's the kind of things you need. But when Cannonier's just standing across from him, trying to kick him, you know what I mean? Score points off a kick. Like, what is Adesanya gonna do? Rush in and take a chance? No, that's dumb. That's not championship mentality. Like, if you want to keep your belt, that's not what you do. It's like cool. The fans are mad that you're not getting bloodied up. It's not. It's the same thing with like Volkanovski. Like Volkanovski's fight wasn't that entertaining last night. Volkanovski literally 5-0'd Max Holloway. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a crazy fight. It was the same thing. Like he was just piecing him up, and it is what it is. Like if Max Holloway would have tried him, you know what I mean? He said they're counting fights outside the UFC then. Well, I mean, it's still technically it's a loss on his record, brother.
For sure.
I don't know what to tell you. It was a 4 to 6 point difference by each judge. How wasn't it a fight? Meaning it was competitive. Might not have been a brawl, but that's just people's thing, You know what I mean? Like they want the brawl.
So he lost his first MMA fight in 2015. Jungle fight, bro, not UFC.
Again, a loss is a loss in MMA at that weight class. Izzy's only loss in MMA was when he went to 205 for the belt, not even fighting at 205. So it's not like those are two different things. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, that's another thing. Strickland went in with a dumbass game plan. If Strickland would have went in, used his wrestling a little bit, and mixed it in with his striking, I think it's a different fight. This guy literally pieced up. It's literally like Strickland walked into a left hook to get knocked out. It's not like he really did anything. You know what I mean? I feel like the card was super underwhelming. That's because none of the fighters you picked won, James. Jimmy, I said James. Okay, me and Jimmy had bets on all the cards. He lost everyone.
No wonder he thought it was underwhelming.
Yeah, it was underwhelming. It wasn't that good. Nah, I mean, yeah, I do think though, like, I do think it wasn't as good as we thought because we were hyping up. I mean, everybody, like especially me and Jimmy, we were talking about it all week. Like, oh, this card is gonna be crazy. And realistically, like the Max Holloway fight was supposed to be a war. The Cannonier fight, I thought Cannonier was gonna be a great challenge for Izzy. But for some reason, when people get in front of Izzy, they freeze. And it's weird to see like why. I don't understand like why they don't like it's his timing or something. Betting on sports is dumb, bro. You just don't like anything I gotta say, Bruce. It's all right though.
All right, so do you know who this Fireboy 1963 is? They're on your Twitch stream.
Oh, hello, Fireboy.
I think they're trying to troll a little bit. Stranger Things is Will dies, 11 dies, the mom dies, and Mike dies.
I don't even know who Mike is. Good riddance.
Listen, first
Mike
of all,
dies, huh?
First of all, no.
I was about to say, it looked like it hit a nerve.
This right here makes no sense. Fireboy, man. Like, listen, man. You don't have to show out for us to read the comments, man. You just have to type something in. We'll read it for you.
Read it.
You don't have to be sensational about it.
Appreciate you watching though.
Yeah, appreciate it for sure, man. Make sure you subscribe and like the Blackout AD stream, man, for sure. Yeah, but trust me, man, that didn't happen. It's not that way.
Nah, but yeah, so the fight was, I mean, the card was underwhelming. Like the best fight was the Bam Bam versus Robbie Lawler fight in terms of a brawl, what people want to see, because they were just swinging, didn't last past the second round. The Sean O'Malley fight should have been a fight that people were excited for. You saw how that ended, which I respect that Munoz didn't like continue to fight, because if he was really compromised in the eye, Sean O'Malley's not somebody you want to fight compromised in the eye.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We were joking about how like Bisping really because Bisping had his left eye was like completely blind, and he like faked everything. Like he would do like physicals and act like he would, you know what I mean? Like he would like fake it to fight. And we were joking about, oh, Bisping would have fought, you know, but like realistically, like if you're not trying to lose, like the best thing you can do is like, yo, like chill.
I mean, listen, I watched the replay, and so I try to give it the benefit, but the replay doesn't, I guess, wasn't helping his cause, because from the replay perspective, from what I saw, I just didn't see it to be as a lethal a hit that he was. Again, I'm not there. I've never been hit in the eye like that. I don't know, but it looked more like the nose.
Yeah, he also said it wasn't the first. I think
okay.
I think he did get hit multiple times, because one time was it Herb? I don't remember who was reffing. I kind of feel like it was Herb, but I don't remember who was reffing. But the ref kind of gave Sean a warning, and then the big one happened. And so he said it was multiple times. I don't know. Again, benefit of the doubt is like, cool, you know, I get it, but also like, so people are saying like he kind of looked for a way. No, they haven't said, but I don't think Sean really cares to have it, because he knew he was winning. You know what I mean? Like he literally said, like, dude didn't even hit me. It's like, why would we fight again? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people are speculating, because he's like, yo, let's do it again, whatever. But a lot of people are speculating that dude was just trying to look for a way out because he knew he was gonna lose.
Yeah, maybe.
Which, like, you know what I mean? Like, you never know. When do we take account for being let down for our own overhyping? I mean, we're the fans, brother. We're the fans. We're gonna that's what they want us to do, is overhype the cards. You know what I mean? That's how you sell pay-per-view. So it's like, we could be like, objectively be like, you know, this card's not gonna be that great. But like when you have a card like it was yesterday, it's like, oh, this card's gonna be sick. It's the same thing going forward. Like any card that comes out is like, ooh, I'm excited for that. You know, so it's like, it's kind of hard for us not to.
Well, leading up to it, you were excited. Like I remember you were talking about it throughout the week. You were like, it's gonna be a good card. I can't wait for the fight night. So we were like, oh, we're excited for you, man. It was like, but then I guess it underwhelmed. That's okay. Bruce wants to know, how much money have you lost betting on MMA?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yesterday was the first time I ever made a bet. I don't bet because it's illegal where I'm from, the state I'm in. So I don't bet. I only did a wager between friends.
A gentleman's agreement.
A gentleman's agreement, yeah. But I think betting is cool. Like I would like to bet. I'm just not rolling in dough to bet. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to. But that's another thing too. Like yesterday's card, there's a lot of cards where I picked the right fights, and I'm like, damn, if I would have bet, you know, because everybody now, all the fighters are like using their DraftKings promo codes and all that shit. So I'm like, damn, I really need to get on this betting thing, because I picked, like, objectively, I'm picking fights for who I think is gonna win, and like I want to say like 7 out of 10 times I'm right for the most part. I mean, you know, there's upsets and shit, but I think that goes with betting. It's not that I wouldn't bet; it's just I'm not trying to waste my money right now, brother.
We got to chronicle.
I don't think it's dumb.
We got to chronicle your betting. So we got to say, okay, if you're gonna start, like let's capture, like, okay, like let's have the dollar marker on your account and say, okay, he's put down $100 on like 6 matches. How many has he won tonight? And so stay tuned, that type of thing. Hey, all for content for sure. Let's see. Big Homie says, I figured out how we can do DraftKings amongst the squad. Okay.
Oh yeah, he did text that. He did text that. Free or low bets. Yeah, that's kind of cool though. I would like to do something like that. Yeah, even like yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying like yesterday, like me and Jimmy never really. We were just because we recorded me and Jimmy are gonna do our own little late. We're gonna turn the late night into like a talk show thing. So we did it the night before the fight, and we were just like joking around about like just doing dollar bets for the fights. Like it wasn't like I don't even care about getting the money just because I watched them so bad. The victory is all I need. But we were talking about just doing dollar bets and stuff, and I was like, that would be cool to do for like the fight nights, like in the Discord, like you know what I mean, like
yeah.
you could do like little whatever, yeah, just be like, yo, who got money on this fight, you know what I mean, whatever. But I'm sure that's probably like not cool, so we're not gonna do that. But
we try not to get banned on Twitch.
But yeah, dude, come on, you kidding?
No,
I was so scared. I was shitting my pants all night last night. Like, oh, I hope I don't get banned. I only let the audio go, so I didn't show anything. But I was just like,
I saw your background though. Your background was very creative. You were like, it was like you were at the ring side.
Yeah, I was in the ring actually. Yeah.
You were in the.
You can call me the ring girl.
I didn't see your ring card.
Oh,
you know what? I wanted to talk to you about, and I don't know how early you started watching the prelims, but I was watching the prelims in the hotel on ESPN. It was for, it was part of the, it was free. Did you watch that armbar to the dislocated elbow? I forgot what the girl's name is. Jessica
something. But
oh my god,
I wanted her to win. She's so hot, and she's from Australia, so she has a great accent. I wanted her to win so bad, and then I literally, which was dope because I went to the gym right before I got on, and I didn't realize, like in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna wait till like I'm gonna watch the fights on my phone or whatever, but I didn't realize it was on ESPN and they were playing it at the gym. So I should have rushed to the gym because then I would have watched it live, and she probably would have won because I was watching. But she got submitted really fast, and that was that girl. I forgot her name, but it's like Julia Soria, something like that. She won, and that was her first UFC fight. So that was an impressive, dominant victory. It wasn't even like it's like she pulled guard and just put her away. It was like no hesitation. Like
I think that the best part of the whole thing was, I mean, that was obviously a surprise, and it was fun to see that was the number of replays they played. I thought for sure they were going to like limit, like, like when someone gets injured at a football game or whatever, they show it one time and then like they stop. No, I know. So what happened is the replay kept showing it, right? 3 or 4 times. And then Joe Rogan's in there and he's like, guys, you show it again. Show it one more time. You had her in this. Look, and boom, there goes her arm. All right, show it one more time from this angle. I was like, oh man, this was great. This is what it's all about. I guess getting people excited for the actual card itself, for the pay-per-view.
Nah, but also they were talking about because it looked like she got dislocated or whatever.
Yeah, no, it was.
So I think that's also why when it's like a gruesome injury or like they replay it to like see.
Yeah.
What do you say? Jessica Rose Clark, that's her name. Should become a ring girl now because she's got those nice big fake tatties. Would keep her on the UFC payroll too. I think she's a good fighter. She just ran into somebody who was dominant. She would have fit right in as a ring girl with the chest. Perfect retirement system for female fighters. But like, how much do the ring girls actually make compared to the fighters? Like it's probably not that much.
No.
Let's be real. Like they just pick random girls off the street. Like, hey, you want to be a ring girl tonight? Like,
I was gonna say, do you even know who the ring girls are? Like, are they consistent?
I know who do know them. Joe Anik. He names them every time they walk up. That's Brittany, whatever. I don't know none of them. I looked them up though on like Instagram when they're super hot. I'm like, let's see, and they don't even have like crazy following. So it's like the benefit of being a UFC ring girl is really not that high, to be honest. But he does look good enough to be a ring girl.
Yeah, no, I was comparing it to like WCW when they had the Nitro girls. Like, each of them had a personality. Each of them had a following. And people, people knew them. They didn't talk; they just danced, but they were the same ones. And like, you go, oh, that's such and such. Like people, the fans were like had signs for them and everything. So, we got some comments here. Let's see. Let's see. Ring girls make a decent wage, better than no money in retirement because UFC has no pension.
But I think with like the UFC, and we're gonna see it going forward, and I think the beauty of it is that you get exposure from the UFC. They promote the fuck out of you. You know what I mean? Like, you can do literally anything after the UFC. You can make your own podcast, make your own show. Like the smart fighters, you're seeing it now. Like Volkanovski got his cooking show. Patty Pimlet does his vlogs, and now he does like he got signed with Barstool for like a crazy amount of money, and he's very new into the UFC, like not even a year in. Sean O'Malley, another one who built it up like even before. I mean, he streams on Twitch. He has a couple podcasts, I think like 2-3 podcasts, and does like vlogs. So it's like they're starting to leverage what the UFC does for them in their personal lives. And I think that's, as a fighter, especially now that you're seeing these people, especially like O'Malley's he hasn't, again, first time fighting a top 10 ranked opponent last night, but got a huge up in his contract because what he brings to the thing. Same thing with Patty. It's like, bro, I make so much money out of the UFC. Why do I even need to take a 2-week notice fight or fight somebody I don't want to fight? You know what I mean? Like, it's giving these fighters leverage. And I think if you're a smart fighter right now, you're using what the UFC does for you, using your performances in the cage, using your time in the cage. Well, obviously not many people are good at that. So it's like give or take. But she's hot enough she can. You know what I mean? She could go with the OnlyFans. I bet you she starts the OnlyFans, she's making more money than a ring girl instantly.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you'd be there. You'd be signed up. Yeah, it's a bunch of extra work, not really retirement.
Yeah, but again, these guys are retiring at like 35. Like, that's a lot of life to live, man. Yeah. It's not like they're 80. You know what I mean? They've been fighting since they were 20 and they're 80 now, and they have no life left after. You know, it's like, I don't know.
And you know what I'm noticing too? It's not just UFC. I think it's across the board in all sports. The deals now that come with with being an athlete, it's not just be the athlete, get paid the big contract, and then you got an endorsement deal. I mean, there is so much more now with social media, with these big media groups. I mean, it's big business. Like, having the podcast, having the Twitch stream, having this, like, there's so many revenue streams that they are cranking out, and I think managers and agents are taking advantage of that because, I mean, like, it's almost ready built for you. Like there's so again, a guy like Sean O'Malley, right? He's charismatic. He's a character. He's starting to draw. That's great. That's only going to get him so far in the UFC. It's all the extra shit that I'm saying, like, it's all the extra.
But for
shit
him, it's different. It's a bad example for him because he's like he's not Conor McGregor, but he can be that size of a star. You know what I mean? Like, his upside is crazy.
Oh yeah. No.
But if you're just taking like a normal person, like a normal person, just like Max Holloway, even though Max Holloway's considered great, you know what I mean? He's already going to be in the Hall of Fame, all that. He's still like Facebook. He games on Facebook gaming and streams, you know what I mean? And it's like that same thing. Like I said, Volkanovski, like, these guys are picking it up. So I think it's going to be going forward, and it's in any sport. I mean, the internet allows us all to have opportunity.
Yeah, Big Homie says even the no names have endorsements that help them out.
Yeah,
for sure.
But that's just being signed to the UFC. Like, you get that, you know what I mean? Like, Venom signing you, Monster probably signing you because everybody holds up an empty can. It's like the same can everybody holds.
Oh yeah, and they're all drinking the different waters and whatnot. I said, let's see, you're gonna have to do all this extra stuff after you leave. Yeah, I mean,
that's always been the problem, right? Like, pro athletes going broke when they leave because they don't have anything after. Like, just because you make $100 million doesn't guarantee you're gonna live good for the rest of your life, especially when your life elevates. You know, your just your quality of living elevates. You want to keep those things. Nobody ever goes back. You know what I mean? Especially when you make that kind of money. So it's on the person. It's not on the sport to keep you paid for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? I mean, it should be. Maybe you can have that argument, but realistically, it's not like you really. You got to be at the end of the day. You're a business. You're a business. You know what I mean? You're a brand. You're a business. You got to build that up on your own. You know what I mean? Like,
you have to.
If I got signed to a esports team right now, you know what I mean? Like FaZe or Optic, which there was a funny clip that the guy who created Optic said Optic AD, and I was like, yo, he spoke it into existence. But but you know what I mean? It's not on them to keep me fed for the rest of my life. It's me taking the opportunity, getting the exposure, and building my business. You know what I mean? You gotta have that mind. I'm not looking for handouts. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people in general are not going to look for handouts. They're going to continue to work. I mean, there's people to this day that are older generations, retired, still working because they, you know what I mean? It's just what they know. So it's like, I get what you're saying, and they should be compensated a little bit better. But at the end of the day, Boxers don't have to build that up on their own. They get paid enough to retire on who? Floyd Mayweather, who's constantly always talks about him being broke and him doing these dumbass fights to keep making money. He's still doing these fights to make money. It's not like he's not doing anything to make money. De La Hoya, who has his is it De La Hoya? Or, yeah, I think it's De La Hoya with the Golden Boy Promotions or whatever.
Of course,
it's like these guys, they extend. They're not just sitting on their ass. There's nobody just sitting on their ass. Mike Tyson's doing a podcast to this day, making money on that. He's not sitting on his ass off his boxing money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, listen, like I said, I think UFC is unique because I think they're pretty upfront about their compensation. Like, it is what it is. It's pretty cutthroat. People have always been criticizing the compensation levels at the UFC. But again, if you're a fighter and you choose to do these things, there are other ways to make money. There's other revenue streams. You just have to make it work. And I think, like I said, that's the smart thing that athletes, again, not only the UFC athletes, but the super mega wealthy athletes now are creating their own revenue streams. They're not dependent on the contract anymore.
But it's not even. This is not just a sports thing. This is a money thing.
Right.
If you want to be successful, you need multiple revenues.
Yes.
He mentions Tyson Fury, Wilder, Spencer, Crawford. These guys are the highest of levels. Yeah, they're making bread, but you'd be naive to think they don't have money in other places that's making them money to continue to live. They're not living off just what they make in boxing. Nobody's in any sport is just making money off what they do. And if they are, they're dumb, personally.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You need, if you want to be that level of rich or that secure financially, you need multiple revenue streams. That's why Connor makes all the freaking money in the world, goes and makes Proper 12 whiskey, and now and sold that for even more money. So now he's even more financially secured. When that man can make $1 million plus on a fight, easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. And I think again, I don't know, Bruce, but I think that's our point, is that it's not about the fighting. That's one element. It's a means to an end, but you've got multiple ways to make the money, and if you don't take advantage of it, then you're selling yourself short. Yes. Could the contracts be bigger, and could they be more lucrative? Sure. But even the guys making the lucrative dollars are still, money makes money. Yep. Being wealthy means that you want to make more money, and you don't just stop and say, "Oh, I've reached the pinnacle of wealth. I'm done." No, you want to continue to build on your wealth so that your kids and your kids have more money. So these guys figure out a way. Now, again, it used to be traditional business. You invest in businesses, or you invest in types of investment type things. Now you invest in yourself. Now you invest in what I can offer as a character, as a personality, to do more things. And whether it's putting my name on products, or whether it's doing a podcast, whether it's doing book deals, series, whatever, it doesn't matter. But that's how I continue to build the wealth if I'm in that situation. So, again, I like this topic right here. Yeah. Arby's Crew's throwing up ADs
in the chat. Let's go. Do lawyers have to go outside and do podcasts and other revenue streams to retire? No, but if they're smart, they should do a podcast. If they're smart, they're investing in real estate. They're investing in companies that they can grow, that they can make. Again, money makes money. And if you want to be at that level, if you want to retire without working, you need to be making more money than one job. No, not one job, especially now in inflation times where we're going through all this, like all the shit as a country. You're not making it on just one base salary. Nobody. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you want to retire and not have to work, you have to have other revenue streams. I think you're looking at it too content creator-ish. We're not talking about just podcasting, because there's fighters who are investing in real estate, fighters who are investing in stocks, or investing in different things to make their money. It's not like they're just sitting on their money, because like they said, if you're just saving your money, you're losing money.
Or even like cryptocurrency, just all these different things that are.
But I bet you there is high level. I mean, Ebony K. Williams, a high level lawyer, was doing podcasts. So that's an example right there. I just gave you one. But like, I'm sure, I don't look at lawyers' podcasts, but I guarantee there's lawyers who are still active right now as lawyers making podcasts. Guaranteed. Making money.
Yeah, because it's a stream that they can take advantage of because of their expertise. It's just it's the way it is. Like
You'd
trust
be,
me.
I don't know, man. Maybe you want to live your life with one revenue stream, and if you make it and retire, and that's what you're looking for, good on you. But for me personally, I know I'm making Blackout. I'm making my AD thing. I got the Llama show. You know what I mean? Like I'm already said that I don't have no money, but I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about the long game, baby. And I'm seeing how people become successful and people become financially secure and financially free, which is what we're looking for, especially as brown people. Like we our generations before us didn't have that, and I want to be I want to usher in the next generation with that, if that makes sense. So I get it.
Yeah, no, and I'll say this, like it also depends on where you are in your life, in your goals, and like that's what drives people. There's actors who make the big payday and stop working. One, because they say, you know what, I have lived where I want to live. I make the money I want to make. I'm done. I'm done with this life. I'm done whatever. But that's their life. That's their choice. But if you want to be successful, and 98% of the people who are in the top echelon in that top 10% are going to be pushing for more. They want more. They want more, and they work towards it. So I'm telling you, you work so hard at a craft, at a trade, and then you can double or triple your income. You would do it because it's the smart thing to do. It's the work I put in. So again, if I make it to the top level of all of YouTube or whatever, I'm going to want more. I'm going to want cable. I want to want a TV series. I'm going to want different things other than just being the best YouTuber there is and making the most money I can make in YouTube.
If you want to be stagnant, that's cool. But like, it's not, Llama's time, 1965 and shit, where people are waiting for their social security. Like that's not a thing anymore. Like that old school mentality of retirement being at the end of one job is not a thing anymore. And the internet and everybody on the internet passing out knowledge is teaching you there's other ways to do this. There's other ways to get that retirement, quote unquote, because I don't think you retire, man. I don't think at this point, I don't think anybody really retires unless you're 95 and you're in Boca Raton chilling. You know what I mean? But at that point, what did you do to get to that point? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
and I won't say anything you fucking said I was from 1965.
It's all right. Look at the realtor shows on Netflix. They sell $1 million homes with commissions and still put their shit on Netflix to get more money. Boom. Another revenue stream.
Right. They are at the top level of their game. They sell the highest level properties and they're making the biggest commissions. What else is there to do? I'm gonna sell my shit to Netflix. I'm gonna make even more money. Yep. So again, it is what it is.
Hey, Roman Tuchel. I'm late, but I'm queer. I'm in here.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hello. Nah, but it's good. That's a good conversation. It's just you got to think of the bigger picture. You know what I mean? If that's how you want to live your life, if that's how you feel people should live, then that's cool. But I don't think these fighters are, especially with all the talk of fighter pay and like they know they're undervalued by the UFC. It's like they're not looking at the UFC as a retirement plan. They're looking at the UFC as a stepping stone. If you're smart. Right. Now there's some people that just, are going to live off the UFC forever. You know what I mean? But like even Donald Cerrone just retired last night. In his retirement speech, I'm going to go be a movie star because he sees the value that the UFC helped him have, his own brand. People love him. And now he's leveraging that to now go into movies and make even more. Like realistically, the amount of fights that man stepped in, you know what I mean, that he's won, he's been a staple in the scene. People love him. That man, in your ideology, Bruce, should be good for retirement right now.
Right.
But he's not. And he's going to be a movie star because there's even more money in it. He's going to leverage what the UFC did for him and make more money. And I'm sure he's not going to stop at just going in movies. I'm sure he's going to be in shows, commercials, more endorsements. Like there's multiple ways to make money.
Yeah, there's wrestling. There's just a bunch of different things for sure.
Yo, this man said, Llama, you're not from 1965.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. It's no 78 there, bitch.
I really enjoyed last night, and I'm glad I stuck till the end. Hey, Llama, this man made his first main event. He finished the whole card. For the first time out of every fight he's been. This man would leave in the prelims. I don't understand. He'd be like, yo, I'm out. It's like, bro, the prelims aren't even over, bro.
Hey, Junior Llama was on there with you guys.
Hey, shout out. He was there late too. He was like one of the last ones to leave.
Yeah, no, for sure. He was watching. Let's see, big homie. Bruce Buffer doesn't need more money, but he offers his service on site for fan videos. Those old heads on the beach are still making money just passively.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Bruce, not sure.
Yo, we actually looked it up. Bruce Buffer makes 100,000 a card.
What?
Yeah, and he does all the cards. He does all the cards.
Yeah, he's making money. He's making money.
Not sure with Cerrone CTE, he is even going to be able to remember all those movie lines, bro. Yeah, well, again, naive, because why would they give? If you really think that, why would you give Cerrone that many lines? You just let him be Donald Cerrone, and that's enough for the film. Like,
exactly.
He says two lines.
He's that henchman.
He's the guy they fight. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Come on, bro. You gotta think outside the box sometimes. I almost fell asleep like twice. Nobody's seen it. That's all that matters. I'll go find it. It's up.
Now we got to clip it.
Clip it. Somebody go clip it.
Nah, that's good, man. Let's see. About 12 events per year. Bruce is cooling,
bro. Yo, Bruce had the flyest. He had an all white with a black, I don't know what that's called, but it's like black. It looked like an Oreo suit, right? Yeah. It looked like an Oreo suit, looking fresh to death. And then the main card switch. This man had a dragonfly suit with just like white dragonfly. I was like, what the hell? I've never seen him switch like that. Maybe I just never watched, but I've never seen him switch like that. I was like, whoa.
I guarantee you, Buffer is making money off the suits.
Oh, we looked it up last night.
There's a Buffer.
We looked up the company
of suits. Yeah,
we looked up the company. He's got. I don't know if he's like, maybe he's like working to like a partnership. We didn't read that much into it, but he's definitely got a brand he works with consistently, and they're banking off Bruce.
Of course, man, because in he's the most
flyest
guy.
He's the flyest guy at the card 90% of the time, unless like somebody comes in some drip.
Listen, you have actors, man. Actors who made ginormous sums of money and still make money on the residuals from there.
I don't understand why Gabe called me and knowing we're live.
He just called you?
It's like 5 minutes ago.
No, but I was gonna say, like you have these actors who made huge amounts of money. They've got these syndicated shows. They're making millions every year just off the shows, and now they're doing podcasts about the show. Like episode by episode breakdown,
That's
and
smart,
people
bro.
are subscribing.
That's smart. I've never even heard of that. That's genius.
The Office, most of the Office cast is doing it right now. I know the group from Smallville. The guy has his own podcast, and he always brings on Smallville people. There's a bunch of them that if there's a show you really like, they go back and they tell you all the behind the scenes, and they break down each episode. So they watch the episode. I think Scrubs is doing it too. So if you like the show Scrubs, both the main two guys, the Donald and the main doctor, they do it together, and they watch the episode and they talk about the episode. So like it's just crazy that these guys are making huge sums of money and are still doing this extra work because they're gonna.
But it depends now, especially with like shows like that and like the later shows, older shows. It depends like how good their contract was, if they get money on the back end, all that.
Yeah.
But again, if they're not making money, or if they are making money, they're still utilizing what they did with the show to make more money, because there's so much. Like when you really think about like Joe Rogan getting like 200, 300 mil for Spotify or whatever the number was, or like there's that much money for content out there. And it's like, I think about it all the time. If I could just get a sliver of that, I'm chilling. But it's just, there's just so much money out here to get in so many different ways. It's like, you'd be dumb to just wait for the money to come to you.
Yeah. Again,
Justin does like that show, Scrubs. I remember him talking about it.
Trust me, man. If you can find that podcast, I think it's like I think it's called Real Brothers Fake Docs or something like that.
Oh shit, that's so dumb.
Yeah,
I hope that's not the name. Real Brothers Fake Docs.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
But I had saw them on an interview, and I was amazed and I was like, I love the show too. I'm gonna go check it out. But yeah, man, I like this conversation because it honestly feeds into what we're doing here. Like again, I got full-time. We both have full-time jobs. We're doing different things, but we're still trying to make this money on this, and we're trying to make a living off of this, that type of thing. So that's what you do. You hustle and you try to get to the highest levels of these games, right? So, he got the name of the show, Fake Doctors, Real Friends. That's what it is.
Did the stat sheet pop up for that one?
Big homie with the stats.
Yeah, this guy knows it now. But yeah, I enjoy the conversation because I mean this podcast, last podcast, like we're starting to experience different type of podcasting, and I enjoy the hell out of it, man. Like the conversation. This is what I want to do. I want to be able to talk, and like I was getting a little passionate right there. I'm sweating and stuff, a little heated, but it's good. Like I enjoyed that Bruce is like actually combating because it's giving us something to talk about, and we need that. Like, of course, I love when chat's just on our side, but also I would like when chat is against us because then we can give our points.
Right.
You can give I can give my point. You can give your point. Chat gives us their point. And at the end of the day, we're still watching it. We're having a good time.
Zelenia joined us. And then Big Homie, 3,000 FUs or 300 FUs. No, you're right. I like the way this chat is going. I like the topics, and Bruce was going back and forth with you. So, and I don't necessarily agree with Bruce's point. I see his point, but I don't agree. But yeah, this is what makes these live streams fun and interesting, is that you can have these conversations and have some real perspective and real talk about different topics. And so tonight was about monetization and money and fights, and that was great because it's stuff that we're in today, so I enjoyed it for sure. So yeah, no, this is great. This is the type of stuff I like doing, and I hope that we continue to do stuff like this for sure. We had Miss Marvel on the topic, but
I'll be honest about that. I like it, but I'm not in love with it.
No.
If that makes sense. Like, it's not Moon Knight I was in love with. And even Moon Knight, I was kind of like, not that I was bored with Moon Knight. There was like parts of it where I was like, oh, it could have been a little better. But like, think about, let's go back to what started our show, Loki. Like, I was enthralled with Loki. Like every week I wanted to know what Loki was about. And I don't know if that was because we were actually talking about it and that's what started our show, or I don't know if it had to do with that, or WandaVision. Same thing. WandaVision I was like into. Even the Winter Soldier one I wasn't really into personally. But even Hawkeye, like I liked that show and I wanted to see it every week. Like I didn't miss. But like Miss Marvel, I'm like,
it's in a weird spot. It's in a real weird spot for sure. Zelenius is, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Loki was fire.
Loki was
Miss
fire.
Marvel feels like what? Homework?
Yeah.
We're only watching because she was in Doctor Strange.
She wasn't in Doctor Strange, dude.
You're thinking about America Chavez.
America Chavez, dude. That's a whole different person. Yes, he's human. Big homie is human.
Big homie with the wrong stat.
Yes.
That's a clip. That's a clip right there.
Homie is always right about everything, and it annoys me sometimes. So I gotta bask in this right now.
So
he's like 300 more FUs.
So all ethnic looking girls are the same.
Yeah, all brown girls look the same to you, bro. All crystallized star shaped light energies look the same to you, my boy.
I mean, one is Pakistani, the other one is Hispanic.
I don't believe she's like Puerto Rican or Mexican. I think the comic she's Puerto Rican, but in this shit, I don't know.
Big homie with the laugh there. Let's see. I was about to say, wait, I don't recall that. Zelenia hitting you with some. So I'm watching this for no reason.
The realization he watched all these episodes for a character he thought was him.
He's calling her America Chavez.
Yeah, he's like, why do they keep calling her Kamala?
It's so slow. No, just Middle Eastern.
Okay, got you. Big
homie.
That's content gold right there. The show's fire. It is slow. And you know what I think it is? I just think it's like geared. I heard this on a podcast, so it's not my take. But when the dude said it, I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense because I was like defensive about it, but then I really like sat with it and was like, I don't care. Like I care about Miss Marvel in terms of like because the Marvels are coming out, and that's gonna be Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau, who also becomes Miss Marvel at one point, or like an alternate universe. So I think it's gonna be about that. You know, I think I care about it in that sense, but like this show, I liked the first couple episodes. You know, the family dynamic. I enjoyed the different cultures we got out of it, but realistically, like going into like the action now is like I could care less of where the Bengals come from. I don't care if you're gonna get better with your powers right now. I don't care about your sidekick boyfriend dude that's upset that you like the other guy. They introduced the Red Knight or Red Knife. I don't know his name. I don't care about him either. He's supposed to be a prominent character in the comic, but I don't care about that guy. I like the father. The father's cool. You know what I mean? The brother's sick. The mom, yeah, they said the mom's like a realistic portrayal of like
Holy shit. Yes.
yeah, so I like that.
She annoys
like
me
immigrant a little bit, huh?
she annoys me, but I think she annoys me because it's a constant struggle to please a mom, and it's like, God, I've been there, done that. It's like, Big Homie says no cap, didn't remember the other girl's name. He fucks with Kamala Khan.
Hey, he fucks with her though.
Fight scenes with the Jinn were ill.
I think it looks good. I think the show looks good. The show is not bad. It's just something about the show is like, and I feel like people are hating on the show for the wrong reasons, but also when there's like a unanimous, like I've seen reviews of people like, yeah, you know, like this past episode is like, oh, they're losing me. You know, it's like it's like constant around every media I see is like the show started out good and it's just like losing its steam. So I'm hoping maybe it picks up and then like gets people's attention, but it's not Loki, it's not WandaVision. And I think we're kind of seeing that these things kind of have to tie into something. Though hers is coming in the future, you know, we don't know what it is. Like I think if Marvels came out, they introduced Kamala a little bit, and then we get her backstory. It's a different show. The same show you give us, if we seen her in a movie and then we get the show, I think it's different. But I think like introducing us a character that we haven't seen in the grand scheme of things, when everybody knows these movies connect to the shows, you know, I think it's a different vibe. I don't know though.
Yeah, no, I honestly think it's now it went from this quirky, fun, dynamic, family dynamic show to, okay, we got to bring in the supernatural big elements, and now it's like this quest to figure out what was what. So I think that's where people are starting to lose it. Is like, all right, we went from knowing this small group and learning, and she's, you know, again, you piece it little by little. Now you've introduced the Jinn, you've introduced this. You're in like this. You're looking at this mystical train and the grandmother, and you're like, well, like what? I got to keep up with this shit now. So I think that's what it is. Now we have a commenter here. Nikki says, "We doing Stranger Things theories in here?"
I don't have any, but llama theory.
Well, I had said I think that for season 5. I think 11 has to die. I think 11 is the key to this whole thing. She started, she opened it, she closed it. She has to die and sacrifice, unfortunately. The only problem is, obviously, she's such a main character and a loved character. And like you had said, it's probably just kind of cliche or like expected. Like, oh, she's going to die. But I don't know. That seems to me the only plausible way to end this is that she's got to go, and it's going to be emotional. But if you know what's happening, then I don't know. Maybe it's going to be Hopper sacrifices himself again for the greater good. But that would be cheap, you know. So my theory is that she's just the key. She's the key. She opened the door. She's got to close the door, and so she's the only one that, if she's in existence, it can always be open. Just my theory there. So Nikki, I mean, we had talked a lot about it earlier in the show, so I apologize. But if you've got any other theories or any questions, we'd be happy to answer those for sure.
Definitely let us know your theory. Chat. If you guys got theories for Stranger Things, let us know.
No, for sure. Gabe wanted to just tell you that he was sorry.
He
He
said,
didn't
"My bad,
realize.
AT. When I called you, I didn't realize you guys were still live, and I'm just commenting now because I'm listening in the shower." Hey,
Yeah,
well, it's
no,
all
for
good,
sure.
baby. It's all good. I was just like, this man really called me in the middle of the live stream, like as if I'm not live right now. Like you don't know where I'm at 10 p.m. every Sunday on the
It's like
Big Mama Show.
if somebody called me, I couldn't pick up the phone. I'd have to go like this. All right, hold on, let me get the phone. Let's see. Big homie says here the storyline is. He's talking about Miss Marvel. The storyline is too slow. Maybe for us, since we grew up liking her, we were like to get the good stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
because we relate to like her upbringing a little bit, just with the
Yeah.
immigrant. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Let's see. And Nikki says, I think Stranger Things 5 end at the beginning of Stranger Things 1.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
I did say
Okay.
that earlier. Like they're tying a lot of things back to the early on seasons. Like that could be plausible.
Oh, and and that's in the Upside Down or in this second part. When they went in there, they realized they were back 5 years. I don't know if you caught that. Like they figured out that if it's in the Upside Down, it has to have elements of the stuff that's in real life. Then they went to the house to try to pick up guns, and they were like, wait a second. The reason I can't find this gun is because the time frame that we're in is 4 or 5 years earlier. So in the Upside Down, they're 5 years earlier. So that's a pretty damn good
Nice.
theory for sure.
Nikki
And
coming in
Nikki,
with the 3-pointer.
I know she's shooting the J right there. This is ever wonder why the Demogorgon from Stranger Things 1 has powers and the others don't. Okay,
I
okay,
never
Nikki.
wondered that. Yo, so Nikki, I haven't seen the newest part, so I'm not familiar. But now that because I told him I was gonna watch it in its entirety to like catch up with everything. I'm gonna keep this theory in mind and definitely see if it holds up.
For
I
sure.
like that.
They can only find old shitty rock. So Nikki with the mind bender at the end there of the show there.
I like that.
If the Stranger Things 5 ends at the beginning of Stranger Things 1. Okay. Damn. That would be a total mind meld for sure. I don't know how the fans would react to that, but I'm definitely intrigued now for sure. Now I got to go back and watch. Because there is a Demogorgon in the first one that is able to pull people from the real world into the Upside Down. So, okay. All right. So,
right there.
yeah. So, Nikki, thank you so much for that and for sure. You're new here. So, remember, every Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can always come in and we talk we talk whatever comes up in the chat. And so we're always interested for that. So, she's got another comment here. It says, Demogorgon from the first is 11. Oh, she gets sent back to kick off the events of Stranger Things 1.
You're melting my mind right now.
I know she is forever continuing the Upside Down to the 3 years in Indiana. What?
So that ties in with your theory. 11 doesn't die. She becomes bro. Imagine that would be a twist that people wouldn't look at and would be like, oh. But then,
Nikki,
so then they just relive it again. It's just like a constant cycle. Like what they say in Loki, like what's that? Absolute point.
Yeah. Oh God. So Nikki, you must be a show writer or you've been pitching these ideas, but damn, for sure that shit's crazy. So the Demogorgon for 1 is 11.
Huh.
Shit. Well, she does touch it in her vision. She does touch it in the beginning.
Doesn't it mirror her too?
I think so. Oh, damn.
I'm scared.
All right.
I'm scared now.
I'm scared. Yeah, Nikki, I don't know what else you got there.
Future teller. You got Miss Marvel theories?
Exactly.
We need them.
Oh, here we go. Go back and watch 11 kill the Demogorgon in season 1. Both right-handed and identical hand gestures.
This sounds like a new Rockstar breakdown. Like Nikki's giving us. We need Nikki on the show to break this down for us. Yo.
We need you here every week to just melt our minds on this stuff.
Yo.
You know what I hate though? And I don't hate Nikki, of course. What I hate is the fact that she's coming up with this shit and I didn't think of any of this stuff. It's like, it's killing me that I didn't see any of this. But man, this is really, really good.
You know, I think about that too. Like when I watch new Rockstar breakdowns, I'm like, why don't I know all this? You know what I mean? Like, and then I come on here, I'm like, oh, so like I learned.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, does
And
it
I'm-
get good? Oh wow.
Okay,
I think it
whoa.
landed. At least I have hopes for it.
What's that?
No, Miss Marvel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. The last episode again, it was fun, but it was I can see it sort of. I hate to say, falling off the tracks a little bit, but we'll see.
Spinning
We'll
its
see what
wheels.
happens. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that one. So yeah, what I was saying is, Nikki, is anytime you want to come on, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're always here every Sunday night, and we generally just talk topics. So I am so thankful that you came on here and like gave us these huge tidbits and this information, because it's stuff to think about now, and it's pretty good. So thank you and welcome. And again, like and subscribe. And if you don't know, if you're not on Twitch, AD's on Twitch. He streams Call of Duty, all kinds of games, Pokemon, chats, late nights, and then UFC fight nights. So please check him out as well. So for sure. Let's see. Big Homie says, third episode made me keep watching. First two were whack. Okay, so Big Homie has the opposite feel that we had, which was the first two episodes were really, really good. I thought. And then the third one, the third one's kind of a little off the trail, but he liked more of the action that was happening in the third episode for sure. So,
Yeah. Honestly,
yeah.
the third, I feel like I don't know what happened in the third episode. Like I kind of like,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. She was traveling. She met family. You met like 16 other characters.
Oh yeah, that's when she went to Pakistan or whatever.
Yeah, or Karachi or whatever it was. But yeah, you met the grandmother. You met the cousins in there, and you've got the new character with the mask. And although some of the fight scenes were pretty good, like I said, but it just felt a little bit weird.
Yeah, the show is visually pleasing. Nobody can say the show doesn't look good.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's for sure.
It's cinema quality for sure.
Like homie said, the storyline is just like dragging. Also, like, I don't know, it seems like it almost seems like Marvel, it's not that they're losing what the luster, but it's like people are starting to be very critical on Marvel stuff now. You know what I mean? It's like there was like a point where like anything Marvel put out was gold, but now we've had it for so long. It's the same thing with back to the fights, but like a champion, Izzy, you know, when you're dominant for so long, eventually the crowd's gonna be like, you know, it's made, or we've seen better from you, or whatever. You know what I mean? Same thing with like Mayweather's. Like it got to a point where they just wanted to see him lose because he just kept winning. You know, it's like,
yeah.
So it kind of feels a little bit like that, but also, I don't know.
Let's see. Big Homie says it's also another new group of people to try to learn and understand. Yeah, that's for sure. Nikki says Marvel has been bad to us for a long time.
Ooh,
okay. Hot take from Nikki there.
Yeah, I think they've been okay. You know what I mean? Like they've given us some good stuff. Like again, back to what we were talking about earlier, but like averting our expectations a little bit. Like Doctor Strange, I thought was gonna be mind blowing, but when you really like think about it, and like I haven't watched it again since it's been on Disney Plus, but I'm going to. Like realistically, it wasn't what I wanted out of it. Like it wasn't the multiverse of madness. It was there's people from the multiverse and there's kind of madness, but it wasn't like what it was advertised to be. Like we didn't see as many cameos as we thought. We saw the cameos that they just showed us, but we didn't see people were expecting to go to different universes, like he was traveling through the universe, like kind of how he did, but actually like sit in those universes for a little bit and like experience. And I think that would have been a whole different movie.
Yeah, no, I think the honeymoon period with Marvel is over. I think they I hate to say I think with Endgame, it was kind of the culmination of this honeymoon period, and now after Endgame, there's no more of that like forgivingness. Like I think people have been more and more critical since Endgame of each of the titles coming out. Not saying that everything that came out was bad, but if it wasn't like Endgame level, if it wasn't, Infinity War level, you have this drop off of people who say, you know what, it's not as good, it's not as good, it's not as good. And again, you had Shang-Chi, you've had a couple of different hits that have come and gone, but it's not as memorable or is not as. Here's what I think is missing, right? Is the build up to a big bad. Like we don't have the big bad yet. We've got Kang, we've got potential for Doctor Doom. You had Wanda, you have these like maybe, but it wasn't like this cohesive story of this is your bad guy and this is who you're going to fight the next 6 movies or 10 movies. And I think that's a problem because again, Kang the Conqueror is supposed to be that guy, but they're really haven't marketed him. Like they haven't really had his touch in the different movies. Like if he was in on the Doctor Strange, if he was in on the last couple of offerings, if you just saw a snippet of him, a mid-credit scene, some influence, some leading you towards his character, I think you have a better cohesive story. People are into it. I think it's just a lot of different things that they're grasping at, and it's hard. It's hard.
I don't think Kang's gonna be the big bad that we thought he was, like especially in Loki, because like we heard he was coming. He is a big bad in the comics, but like I don't know if he's like the overall, because again, I was gonna actually ask you what you thought it was, because I think it's the same. I think, phase 4 really hasn't had the direction that the other phases had. There was a clear direction that the other phases had. Right, and phase 4 is kind of like a little bit all over the place. And there's a lot of things that we haven't got just in terms of a phase. And I think, they've been mentioning it. I saw it like this week and last week. They were like talking about, the big bad is going to get revealed within the next couple months. You know what I mean? So it's like they're gearing up to give us the phase 4 that we thought was going to happen. But again, is it our expectations that's making us feel this way? You know what I mean? Like, are they still giving us like kind of what they did before? But now that we know their game, it's a little bit different now, because now we're wanting to know who the big bad is. We want to know what all these pieces are going towards. Same thing, like I said with Miss Marvel. Like Miss Marvel would have been a little bit better. It would have been received better if we seen her in something else. If we seen her in Doctor Strange, if she actually was America Chavez.
I had to take a dig at Big Homie one last time.
No, but so we'll see. Like I trust them. They haven't given me personally, like I know Nikki says the last superhero thing she watched and liked was the X-Men animated series. Like for me, like this is my comic books. This is what I grew up on these characters, and now I'm getting to watch them instead of having to read the comic books. Now I can watch them on big screen. So like I'm excited to see what they're doing. I'm not sure if they're gonna land the plane like they did before, or can they? You know what I mean? Maybe they will, but like it's gonna be a tough task following up what Endgame was, especially now that they're so all over the place. Like, if they make Doom the big bad, like that would be sick, because now, the Secret Wars is definitely like, which they're going to make Secret Wars, which I think that's gonna be something to look forward to. But it's like, how are we getting there? At this point, there's not a clear path.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I think honestly, without that big bad to just lead the way, it's hard. It's hard. Now, again, the other thing I've noticed too is that, I think I'll end it on this, and my final point on Marvel is, and I don't know if it's because we watch more of the breakdowns and the analysis and stuff, but I notice now more and more people, unfortunately don't form their own opinion. And so like whatever the popular viral discussion point is on TikTok or on, YouTube or whatever, is what, like my kids, I use my kids as a measuring stick, right? Like I go into it and I go, what are you guys thinking? Well, I heard it was going to be this. And I'm like, yeah, I heard 16 different people say that on TikTok, or I heard 16 different people say it on these social media platforms. And so like you start to have this rumbling of, like, again, for Thor Love and Thunder, right? The movie is out next week. The biggest thing I've heard is that Ragnarok was better, and that it's not as funny as Ragnarok. And I'm like, but I've heard it consistently now from the biggest names in social media. All of them are saying the same talking point. And what I hate is that sometimes that becomes lazy. That becomes lazy in analysis. Like you don't go into the movie. And again, my kids do that all the time. If they hear it's going to suck, they come out saying, it was okay. Like they were already swayed before they got into the movie. And so I hate that part, but I think that's what's happening is a lot of people just get these general, and that's why movie reviewers have power. That's why these, if they go watch a movie and they go, oh my God, we love it. And 150 of them say we loved it. That's the narrative that you're going to hear. And people are going to, okay, I'm going to go. But again, some people like loved Doctor Strange, and what happened was the cameos just didn't live up to the hype, so it didn't matter. And at that point, you got to see that these reviewers, these guys in social media, are all fed the same narrative so that you can sell the movie.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange, the greatest thing. It's gonna melt your mind, and you went to go get your mind melted, and it wasn't that good. It wasn't as good as advertised.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's I don't know. That's
see,
my
like
thoughts,
I mean, we no, I see. I mean. Big homie, like, is he getting knocked out? Exactly. Or is he the same thing? Like, that was the whole narrative. Oh, the fight was boring. Izzy doesn't take chances, blah, blah, blah. That's the narrative right now. And, Bruce used it earlier. I've heard it all day, but it's like, realistically, it's like no, that's not the only narrative. And like, we look at the breakdowns, we do it, but, we come in and get, at least I know for, like, I'm going to speak for both of us, but I know that we come in and give our honest opinions about it, even though we've seen we've all seen, like, I mean, there's times we've seen the same video, we'll bring up a place like, oh yeah, I seen that same video, but it's like, we have different thoughts on what we've seen and like how we feel about it. And not many people, I mean, there's followers and leaders, you know what I mean? Like, just, it's just the reality of the situation. There's going to be people that hear something and they're just going to go with it because that's what they heard, 80s in the chat, let's go. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's just the age we live in. I mean, not interviewers, reviewers always had that power. Like the Cisco and Ebert guys, the 2 thumbs up, you know what I mean? Like, but now it's such on a bigger scale and faster. You know what I mean? Like, the movie hasn't come out. There's already 7 POVs, 8 POVs you're going to instantly go check out because oh, the screener was there. I do this all the time, personally. Screener was out. I'm gonna go check Real Rejects, see what their out of the theater review was. I'm gonna go check John Campia and his crew, what their out of the interview was, So it's like, but I don't know, maybe because I want to do this for a living, I want to be the one giving my opinion. Maybe I try to have different thoughts because when I have the same thought, you do it too. But when I have the same thought, I'm like, oh, I heard it from here, or I heard it before. It's not my original thought, but that's why I do that, because I have the consciousness of like, oh yeah, I've heard it and I do feel that way, but it's not my original thought. Let me give the credit, because I want people to come to us for when we talk about a movie and be like, oh yeah, they told me this. And whether you agree or not, it's like, don't always agree with us. But I like when, like I said earlier, I like when chat challenges us. So if I tell you a point that you don't agree with, tell me, and let's see how, so I think that's a lost thing just with social media in general.
Yeah. No, and again, a lot of the influencers, whether you want to believe it or not, a lot of the influencers are either paid, or they're getting handouts and free things, and they have no problem posting it. Like a bunch of them, like I think her name is Mama's Geeky or something like that. She's got a huge following and is part of Critics Association. She gets a bunch of free merch and she shows it off. She shows it off on her channel, and it's like, how is your opinion on Marvel and Disney really going to change if they keep throwing free merch your way? Like, you're gonna really criticize the show, like honestly criticize it, or you're gonna give it a lukewarm and say, well, it was okay, Nah, man, if it sucks, it sucks, right? But like, again, I'm not in that position where I'm getting free merch and shit from Disney. But I think I don't think you would change.
Yeah, I don't think you would change just because that's how you come in.
Yeah.
And I think about that too, like even with sponsors, right? Like I literally, like 2 days ago, I was thinking about it, and I don't know why, I was just driving and was like, if I get a sponsor, like if my first sponsorship is something I don't like, I'm not taking it. I don't care if they give me all the money I make working a full-time job. They give me 1 month, like, hey, you know what I mean? Every month we'll pay you this to talk about what it's like. I'm not taking it. It's like, I would do it for something I like, something I actually, you know what I mean? Because there's things that, and I'm very strong on my, like, I don't eat vegetables. Like, I'm very strong on that. As much as I want to. Like the other day, I tried to eat some onions, and like it was like my body was like physically rejecting it. You know what I mean? I've always been that way. Like, so like I just take that just with any mentality. So I was really like sitting like, would I, you know what I mean? I even asked myself, would you take something you didn't agree with just because they're paying you the money you want? And like, I don't think I would. Like, again, you know, they haven't given me the contract, but it's like, I like being this person. I mean, you know how I am. Like, I like talking shit. I like saying what I think and having the different opinion because that's just who I am. And if you can pay me for my opinion, then why should somebody listen to me? You know what I mean? Like, why would you listen to me if my opinion can be bought?
Right. And if I don't use the product or if I don't believe in it, then I certainly don't want to put my name to anything. Like I seen this one they do. First of all, they made their website with what's the free one that everyone can use? Oh shit, I've used it too.
Teespring.
No, not Teespring. It's a website maker. It's shit. Everybody makes it with that one. But anyway, then they have this other website host that they're now associated or sponsored with. I'm like, at the bottom of your website, it shows the other brand's name. Like you clearly don't use this person's services. Like, and you're sitting here, oh, I've created websites with this. Like, bullshit. Like I can spot your bullshit a mile away. But that's the type of stuff I don't like. Is that again, I'm about being genuine and about being honest. And so when I see somebody do that, I'm like, that's not me. I wouldn't do that. Like, now again, if I make my website one way and this other company pays me and I change my website, I would that's what I would explain and say, I used this free service before and now I have a paid service, and guess what? It's 10 times better and I love it.
Squarespace or something.
Squarespace, that's the one that she uses. But the free one, shit, I can't even think what the free one is. But anyway, but they all go with Squarespace. Oh, I love Squarespace. I made like 16 sites with it. Like, nah, bullshit, you did. So anyway, it gets me all big homie. AD eating onions was like watching a death sentence.
Yo, listen, I don't know what it's a real thing, but he was there, and I think that's my growth as a human because I actually tried to eat it. It was on my thing. When I was younger, I was like, I wouldn't touch it. Like, literally, my mom has stories of like my real dad, like when he was alive, was like, yo, you're not leaving the table until you finish. And my mom said I would sit there for hours. Like, she was like, you wouldn't touch it. You would just sit there and not say nothing. You wouldn't cry. You wouldn't try to get up. You would just sit there until I told you to go to bed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, that's just who I am at the core. You know what I mean? As much like right now, like for my health, I want to eat vegetables. And like, that was my first attempt. And now granted, I don't think the raw onions on tacos was the way to go, but I attempted and I ate like 2 of them and I like fully like tried, but like I didn't even notice he noticed me like struggling because I was like turning my head and like, you know what I mean? But it was just hilarious. It was covered in onions.
It was covered in
like, again, I'm trying to grow as a human, but that just knows how strong my points are. So if you got a product, you know what I mean, you got to pay me a lot of money to change my opinions.
Shit. Not a vegetable product, please. No veggies, no healthy habit.
If you see me like doing like AG greens or some shit, no, they gave me a bag.
For sure. Let's see. Gabe says, I agree, Llama. That kind of stuff really grinds my gears.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that really hurts the trust between you and your audience. You know what I mean? Like, if they know you and they know, like, because you're selling it to them, right? And they're gonna buy products. Your audience is gonna buy products that you like based off of your again, back to personality, how you cultivated your audience, how like even like somebody was talking about Joe Rogan. It's like Joe Rogan built the audience to listen to 3-hour podcasts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't want clips from him. They will listen to the clips, but they'll go watch that 3-hour podcast. Now, if I'm just making clips, TikTok clips, and then I try to make a podcast, that audience from my TikTok is not going to come watch my podcast because they want the TikTok version of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So same thing with products. It's like you're cultivating this relationship with your audience, and it's like if you're selling something that you don't believe in, they're going to ultimately lose trust in you as the person they go to, because there's going to be somebody who stands on their morals and really, you know what I mean, and makes the same kind of content you make, and they can feel they trust. I mean, this content creation thing is a trust thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Gabe says it's kind of cringy that you don't like onions. Onions are a lot of a food that I can't imagine eating without.
Yeah, well, I'm not afraid to be like, hey, I don't want onions on my thing. Again, I'm a leader, brother, not a follower.
Well, I'm going to share this with you. Is that as a young dude, you're going to grow to like vegetables.
Yeah,
That's all I'll
you don't think
say.
I've ever heard that before? I got literally stories. Like my aunt, she brought this up when I went back, bro. At one point, she was like, "I'll give you $1 for every grape you eat," right? And then I said no. Mind you, I'm like 13, and like I only had one Pokemon game, and like I would do anything to buy a new Pokemon game, but not eat grapes. And then she heard that she was trying to bargain with me. She's like, "Oh no, not $1. I'll give you $5 for every grape you eat." I said no. And like you got to understand, like as a kid, it's like all you got to do is eat the grapes. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Like it's not me. You know what I mean? It's not what I want to do. My mom said that. My mom always said, you're gonna meet a girl that's gonna make you eat vegetables. Listen, I'm a leader, not a follower. Mom, she ain't gonna make me do anything.
Because I'm a leader too, and I like onions.
Good for you, buddy.
No, what I meant is as you get older, right? Like
Yeah, that's what they say.
I would tell you that I wouldn't even if I smell broccoli anywhere, I would be like, nah, this is gross. I tried to eat it in my 20s, I couldn't stand it. Late 30s, early 40s, man. I'm eating broccoli like a champ, man. I'm like that's a staple with the meal, man. But
we'll see. But the thing is too, like, I'm not like my taste buds are. It's weird. Like my mom's put a corn in a biscuit, in a KFC biscuit, one piece of corn, and it's like I bite it, and then I find the corn and like spit it out, and she's like, "How the fuck? Like, how do you find that?" It's like my taste buds are like really like I can't explain it, but at the same time, I can eat like if my mom made like she used to make like a big broccoli soup covered in broccoli, but it would have like chicken and like like potatoes and stuff. I would eat around it. You know what I mean? It's not the taste. I think it's the texture that bothers me the most. Because like if you make steak and smother it in onions and cook it, I just won't eat the onion, but I'll eat the steak that tastes like it because I will taste it. Like I have that, like, bro, like it's weird. Like I taste like if they put it the other day, there was a slider. When I was hanging out with Kevin. I got sliders, like mahi sliders that had like lettuce, pickle, tomato. I was like, yeah, I don't want this. I asked for none of this on here. And they brought it back and they just took it off. They didn't like make me new ones. They just took it off. And I tasted every bite of it. And I just ate the mahi. It was like, bro, I don't want the bread. Like it tastes like the pickles that I didn't want, also covered with the tomatoes I didn't want. Just my taste buds are like that thing. But it's not like I won't eat it. Like if it get made around it, I'm not like that picky. You know what I mean? I'll eat. I like the taste of it. It's weird.
Says AD doesn't like onion rings. That's outrageous.
Yeah, I'll eat the skin of the onion rings. You know what I mean, like the fried part. I've done that mad times with the blooming onions.
So it's okay though. I'm the same way about beans. Okay.
See, I used to hate beans, but I grew to like them now. I enjoy beans.
I'm telling you guys, as you get older, your tastes change, and I don't know. Again,
this is coming from a guy from the '60s, so we gotta listen and take it with
from fucking 1965, you bitches.
Yo, Lava was like, I'm not gonna let that slide.
I was like, you said like 1965.
I made a good point with
time.
it though. I made a good point. I think that's why. Like,
yeah,
oh,
no. And I was like, waiting. I'm like, all right, this fucker just said 1965. I'm gonna have to correct him. Let me let him know.
Oh man,
I ain't from 1965. Although my birth certificate says 1968, but it truly is 1978.
What? This guy's part Dominican, bro. I'm 12.
I am 12.
Oh man.
No, listen, man. I got that third world country birth certificate where it has,
exactly.
My birth date says 1968. My actual birth date is 1978. My passport says 1980, and like you just can't figure that shit out. So
so honestly, we don't know how old you are, bro. You're probably part vampire, bro.
I'm 150 years old. That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm sure you want to get off, but I gotta say, I did go watch Top Gun after last week's episode. And
yeah. How'd you like it?
Movie. Yeah. Honestly, I fell asleep a little bit because it was late, but only like a very small amount of it. the whole movie though, the story was good. Like I never seen Top Gun originally, but the story was super good. Yeah, I just enjoyed it. It was just like what we talked about, like what you said, a popcorn film. Like I thoroughly enjoyed just the story, and that's it. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't have to think about if they're gonna make it another one. I never see that movie again. It's cool. Like I had a great time, and I'm glad I went. I also saw Black Phone in theaters this week too. And
did you? Okay,
that was also pretty good.
I've seen the previews. I'm not a horror movie guy, but that
it's
might
not
be
very
one
scary. It was the scariest part was it was in Denver.
Oh shit!
Oh well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh,
yeah. Like there's a camp Crystal Lake in Florida. When I drive by it, I'm freaked the fuck out. So
yeah, go faster. He can catch us.
Do not stop at this rest stop or whatever. This exit.
You get gas 2 exits before just to make sure.
Exactly. I see the sign for sure. Gabe, this is a good one, Gabe. I gotta give you the credit. Llama went to school with Marty McFly. I went to school with George McFly too.
George McFly too.
Any late night gaming with AD? So AD, are you doing a post Llama stream?
Yeah, I got to talk to Birdie because we planned on doing a UFC recap, but I do plan on being on for a little bit longer. You know, I need to catch up on some hours. I missed a lot. Happy to be in school, but that threw a wrench in my life.
No, for sure, man, for sure. So listen, all right, so we're gonna end it here, guys. Yep. I think this is a great show. We went 2 hours and 11 minutes, man. This is I think it's a Llama Show record.
No,
this is the longest.
I think we've done this before.
Have we?
Yeah, because I looked at I don't know necessarily 11 minutes, but we definitely hit the 2 hour mark.
I think
a couple times for sure.
Yeah. So we went a long time. That's good. We had some new people. I'm just gonna shout them out. We had Charles that hit us up early. Yes, Shane. We had Mama Llama was in the house.
Hey, shout out Mama Llama.
Ace. We had James Johnson. Unk was on. Big homie with the stats and with the air on American Chavez.
Oh yeah, American Chavez. That's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. He's never made a mistake like that before.
No, president. No. And then we had Bruce. Bruce and you went back and forth a little bit. We had a little bit of a
Bruce brought hey, shout out Bruce. He brought the best out of me today.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
My content game was on point. Yep.
He challenged you for sure.
But I ain't no bitch, Bruce.
Jay Birdie was in the chat. We had the Arby's crew. We had, let's see, Fireboy, who wanted to just troll us a little bit, but thank you, Fireboy. Welcome to the show. Yeah. And then we had our minds melted by Nikki.
Oh wow!
So Nikki, thank you. She came on late and let us know. Zelenia was on.
Shout out Zelly B.
Gabe came on a little bit late there. Yeah, Nikki
Mr.
Cunningham was here. Mr. Raw was here in all forms. He was here in his Twitch form and his YouTube form.
Let's go. That's what we love to see it. Cross-pollination.
It was a great show.
Great show.
Thank you everybody for joining us. AD will be streaming later tonight. But yeah, man, AD, thank you so much for being the best co-host, man. Anything before we leave, man? Any part of the
go follow my Twitch account, Twitch.com/blackout_AD. I almost forgot it. Just be on the lookout for more content, man. With the school thing, I'm gonna have to be putting out actual content, videos and all that. So I really plan on taking this. I mean, I've been saying this for the past since we started the show, but you see the work I'm putting in. Like I'm really trying to take this to another level. So thank you for allowing me to be on and me sharpening my sword.
No problem, man. Well, guys, listen, thank you everyone for watching. If you're listening on the replay, make sure you like and subscribe to the Big Llama Show on YouTube. Yep. That's how you can support the channel. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find podcasts. AD's on Twitch.
I'm also on OnlyFans, just in case you want feet pics.
That's right. Feet pics, OnlyFans for Blackout AD. I may start an OnlyFans. I need some money. Anyway, the Big Llama on OnlyFans, that would not get many views. It'd just be me sipping bubbly sodas.
No, bro. Never know.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you for being part of the Big Llama Show. Remember, Sunday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday, and we've got first-time movie reactions throughout the week. So look out for Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That's coming out this week. That's the one movie, and we're going to be recording another one tomorrow night. So, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for joining us. Be Kind Rewind is movie night, man. We'll see you later.